Hey, on today's Living in Las Vegas, one of the things that happens when you move to Las Vegas is that you get lots of visitors. Well, you're Mr. Popularity. Everybody really likes you. So on today's show, we're going to share with you our favorite, what the f***? We're going to share with you our favorite kind of insider places we take folks. I'm a Vegas boss. Let me kind of show you how stuff is. Really cool grid. Tourist attractions, please. We're not doing tourist attractions. That's for tourists. We're insiders. Okay. Also, we're going to let the live chat control us for a while because we like to be controlled. That's probably not appropriate. We got the equivalent of War and Peace in a single email. We're going to try to break that guy down. And then, of course, have a drink on me. This is a Living in Las Vegas podcast where if you visit Arches at Whitney Villa, we're not taking you to this sign. I don't care. Stop. Quit whining. You're not attractive when you do that. Let's get started.
And quit blowing your nose. Good God. Oh, sorry. It sounded like you're blowing your nose. Living in Las Vegas starts now.
Yes, he does. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada, that groovy little podcast that gives you a true first-person look into what it's like to call Sin City your home. The Living in Las Vegas podcast.
And now your host,
Yes.
a man who clearly needs some kind of introduction, otherwise you wouldn't know who he was.
Sing it, brother Scotty.
Mr. Scott Whitney.
That's how I fly in real world right there. Oh, hey.
Mighty impressive.
Well, it's hard to be Superman. And yet, I do it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living in Las Vegas podcast. You're on the Vegas Video Network. This is our first studio audience live here. I want to thank everybody for being here. If you want to be a live studio audience, you can. It's only $25 per hour. So you guys are awesome back there. Hey, I'm your host, Scott Whitney. Konnichiwa, buenas noches, and how you doing, hot stuff? And guess who I'm with? Well, it's a very special day for me. We know him as Brent RQS Grant. RQS.
Or Brett. Can we at least get my
Brett.
first name
Did I
correct?
say Brett? You
Can I
dumbass.
cuss already?
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Oh, my goodness. Brett. Did I say Brent?
You did.
Sorry. Brett RQS Grant. Wait a minute. What does RQS stand for?
Rockin' something
No,
stud.
it's what you say every time. A real quick story. It's Brett Grant, everybody.
Very nice.
RQS.
Yes. At least you spelled my name right, you stupid prick. God.
Wait, is prick a bad word?
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
I have to say it twice.
Good
Okay.
golly.
Already, we're two in, and Brett did them both.
Only because you mispronounced my name
sorry,
properly. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it. Thanks for being a part of the show.
I get Chris a lot. People call me Chris.
Chris.
It's weird.
Yeah.
I literally have people go, "Hey, Chris, great meeting you. Looking forward to joining the co-op." Hey, God.
I get Brent almost every day by somebody.
Yeah.
Usually not people that know me. The other one is, since I have a last name that could also be a first name
Right.
of Grant, I get people on email who respond, "Hey, Grant, just want to let you know." Hey,
Right.
Hey, Johnson.
We're not. All right, Whitney, relax.
Exactly. I say, what are you, like the high school PE teacher? Come on, Grant, do some more
Right.
push-ups.
Stand up and be a man. Are you a pussy?
No,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah, that'd be one you got
really,
right there.
really.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one is.
Yeah.
So we're going to do something a little different with the over and under. I'm taking things off base.
Off base.
Ready?
Yeah.
60 minutes.
Oh, good try.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Not a chance.
That's the over and under. Okay, quick hits. Ready? Number one, there is proof that there are, in fact, smart people in Las Vegas. Some people say no. Some
Is
people
that-
disagree.
Alien life forms.
No.
Okay,
Maybe.
Okay.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
No, I've got proof that downtown
Right.
there are smart people. Now, there are some people who will say, I don't believe you.
Okay.
I don't believe it. And there is. And who they are? There are 14% of the people from from Zappos who quit. I know. My notes were wrong.
That's why I was trying to figure out where
Yes.
you're going with this thing.
In Zappos, 14% of the people took a buyout and they left. That's about 200 people. Now, you may ask yourself, why would they do that?
And they left. Okay,
Yeah, they
left their jobs.
These are not the people who I want to work with. Why would they make that move? Because Shay, Tony, he wants to create this business environment referred to as a holacracy.
Okay, that'd be like a holacracy. So it's something Spanish.
Or crazy. And basically,
it just kind of looks kind of religious. Holacracy.
Well, so it's so fascinating. So what a holacracy basically is, there is no management structure. Gone.
Okay, so everybody's the boss?
On their own.
All right.
You do your own thing.
And
they expect
answer to nobody?
That's exactly right.
So why would you ever do your work? You just kick back and cash your checks.
It's interesting, isn't it?
I've hit some roadblocks on my project. I'm working hard on them.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So now, Melissa actually had a good point. She's like, okay, wait a minute.
Are these guys based in Denver?
No, they're in downtown.
I know they're downtown. They're smoking some bongs.
I'm telling you,
what
man.
I'm saying.
Melissa's like, you know what? That's 14% who could afford to leave. I guarantee you there'd be more people who would leave. And there was a really interesting comment in the Las Vegas Review Journal, which is a local paper. Usually the comments in that paper for an article are just horrendous. A bunch of idiots screaming and yelling and puking at each other. It's Democrats. Obama's at this. Reagan's Yeah, we get it. How about taking another Vitamin and relax? But a guy actually wrote something very smart about this. And he goes, there's a book that Chairman Mao did. And it was basically based upon this holacracy concept. And basically the thought is this. It's a cult of personality play.
All right.
One guy runs everything, and everybody reports into, in essence, the one guy. So all the sergeants, all the majors, they're gone. They have no safety. They have no say. There is no chain of command. It's basically chaos, which is insane.
So why would Tony Hsieh, a guy worth a lot of money,
have you talked to this guy?
And Zappos, no, I haven't talked to this guy.
A perfect example. So here's
But why would he want to have such a potentially loose organization?
He is a little nutty.
All right.
You know, I don't know if this is fair to say.
So when you're, for example, let's just look at the normal things that might happen during the course of business.
Yeah.
You have a problem with, how about you're being harassed by another employee? How about your paycheck's wrong? Yeah. Just out of curiosity. Yeah. How about your computer doesn't work? You're calling Tony Hsieh?
Yeah, I don't
know. Tony, my email's down.
I don't know.
You can't call the IT guy because he doesn't answer to you.
I don't know.
How does it?
I don't know.
I mean, these are common things that happen.
And this is a really young group who live there, who work there.
Right.
So I think they're easily molded. This is kind of a part of the argument against the downtown project, the downtown thing, of which Tony Hsieh yields a very big stick in the first place. I mean, for example, is it reasonable, and I'm not saying they're completely connected, but is it reasonable that people who are, big in the downtown project, 3 people committed suicide down there because they were stressed out? Now, is that more than normal for the number of people who were involved with that? I don't know.
I don't either.
Seems like a lot. And then the people who do leave and survive hate it, because they realize, wow, this is kind of a weird vibe down here. It just doesn't seem fair. If you're a drinking buddy with Tony, well, hell, you're in.
Well, I would just say, but and you are a self-motivated guy, as am I.
Right.
And there aren't a lot of people that are. People need direction. They need guidance. They need to be challenged. People who are in sales are self-motivated because they know their paycheck can be as big as it possibly can be, because if I make if I make a sale, I make more money.
That's right.
So if I make another sale, like I said, I'll make more money, and I'll make more money. So there's your self-motivating part. But how many people are organized enough to know what they're doing day to day, challenged enough to know? Some people need to be tasked.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to me. I'd love to see the concept and actually somebody show me that it works and how it works.
Yeah, and I think he could probably.
But I think if you leave people to their own devices, they're going to do what you do on every other day.
So
they're going to watch porn. They're going to do nothing.
Here's what I believe.
They won't be productive.
I believe these. I believe that nobody intentionally does a bad job. I really believe that. But here's what I also believe. I believe that, and especially younger. If the average age there is 25, and that may or may not be wrong or right, but I bet it's close. When I was 25 years old, I was an idiot.
Right.
I didn't know what the hell
Most
I was
people
doing.
are.
I was trying to figure stuff out.
Right, most people are.
And so this place is stuffed full of young people.
Right.
And we're going to tell them, okay, young guys, you guys just, create a group and figure out how you want to sell more shoes or whatever it is. I think it's insane. So my hat's off. Boink. To the people, the 14%, the 210 people who said...
I'd like to meet somebody from there who actually likes it and tell me how they're doing it.
Yeah.
And what exactly they're doing. How do you know when a project is finished, done, needed, wanted?
I don't know.
And I'm on to my next project, whether you like it or not.
And the reason why this happened is it took him 2 years to get to this. He made this edict 2 years ago.
Right.
And it wasn't happening fast enough. So he just basically said, either you're in or you're out. Get in or get out. And so these people said out. And if you were able to talk to somebody and say, tell me what you're thinking about this, how does it work? Their eyes would be dilated. They'd be like, because Tony says so. I don't know.
My check didn't come in direct deposit. Who do I complain to? It feels to me like you've seen the movie Office Space, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the guy in the stapler. He was fired 12 years ago. We just never had the...
Yes, and he was told that this stapler
Nobody's ever told him.
stapler would be completely filled and no one would be touching it.
Nobody's ever told him.
We'd really appreciate it if you...
So you're going to fire these two guys and give me a promotion. That was...
It's
I got a
insane.
meeting with the
Okay.
Bobs.
Now
Going
you may
fishing.
not know this, but if you look at this shot here, look at this camera.
Yeah. Which
We're
one?
looking at over here.
We're looking at this one.
Yeah,
Hi.
you're looking at the two
Hi.
best husbands ever. Why? Well,
We're not going to ask our wives for this answer. We're just going to
nobody,
say we are.
Nobody said that we get feedback on these statements.
Absolutely not.
We're just making
We are
statements.
self-appointed the best husbands ever.
Well, I'll tell you what. Breakfast. We made breakfast for Mother's Day.
I did
begin
dinner
if you
also.
wouldn't mind. Oh, look at you being
Look at
Mr.
that.
Fancy
Yeah,
Pants.
I
Okay,
did, yeah.
so I, as a practice, don't cook.
Yeah.
Not that I can't, but I can't.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
And I don't like it. I don't like cooking. I don't like any part of it. But I'm pretty terrific. So Melissa's, Mother Day's up, and I think she's an amazing mom. And so I thought, okay, I'm doing it. Melissa, what do you want? She's like, well, I'm a big fan of the waffles.
All right.
Now, if I had to pick between
The
waffles,
waffles.
yeah. If I had to pick between
Not
waffles and
waffles.
no. If I had to pick, don't mess with my article. If I had to pick between waffles and pancakes, I'm a pancake guy.
You like pancakes, right?
Soft and gushy.
You
Put a little stuff on it.
pancake-eating
To
mother.
me, waffles hard and crusty. Don't quite get it. So here's what I did. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to make it happen. Babe, where is the waffle maker? It's underneath the coffee machine. Awesome. Boink, out of the bed, hit to the kitchen. I pull out the waffle maker, plug it in, and I'm like, okay, time to make the batter. So I have my Aunt Jemima batter, and I put in my...
Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, don't judge
Can
me.
we be any more racist with the batter?
It's
got to be Aunt Jemima's
that's
batter.
what it was. I'm just trying to tell a story here. Don't judge me on my batter. So I put in my 2.5 cups of Aunt Jemima batter, and then my 2 cups of that, and 2.5 cups of water, and I'm stirring. And the whole time, of course, I'm doing the right thing. I'm checking. Well, look at that. That thing is getting warm. Awesome. Stirring in my yeah. Well, look at that. The waffle maker is still getting warm. Excellent. And then it dawns on me. I'm like, this waffle maker is odd. A, if I pour the goo in there, it feels like it's going to just pour all over the place. I don't quite understand. B, where's the waffle pattern? I don't see the little squares. This is a little weird. And then C, what does warm mean? Why would you warm a waffle maker or a waffle? And then I realized it was a panini maker.
It's the George Foreman grill.
So I thought, okay, that's good.
Well, you have breakfast paninis.
Part of me was like, I might just pour it in there to see what happens. And then I realized that's a good way to get my ass kicked. Melissa walks in. What the hell is going on in my
Sure
kitchen?
look like a waffle maker to me, honey.
It's
I haven't
that
had my
same
12 cups of coffee yet.
Black, non-stick, Teflon
Yeah.
thing. So I removed that, brought on the waffle maker, and guess what? Best waffles she's ever had.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course you just said that just to make you feel good.
All right, so that's my story. Best husband story ever. Go ahead.
Well, we had orders that we were making breakfast and dinner.
You had orders?
And we did. Well, no, my wife, Kathy, says, I really don't want to go out. I want my children and my husband to make me breakfast and dinner. So she did not want to go out. So I got up in the morning and realized, I think we realized the night before, we weren't home yet, and we didn't have enough eggs. So I went off I went to the store, right. and I did some grocery shopping, and I got some more eggs, and I got some bacon, and I got some fruit, and I got some bagels, and I got some cream cheese, and I got some stuff when I came home, plus with some stuff I needed to make for dinner as well. So I came home, and I'm figuring I left the house about 8:30. I got back about 9:30, quarter to 10. My wife has been awake since 6 in the morning. The kids are all still sleeping. Like, son of a bitch. Somebody get up and help me. Don't wake them up. They slept late. They did this. They were up late doing whatever. I was like, I'm not making dinner for all 5 of us with all this stuff for breakfast. I need some help.
Right.
And you're not helping me. You just sit there and watch. My wife goes through binges of watching television shows like some people do on our show. Sure. So now she's going through the facts of life. She's found the facts of life, and she's going, you remember the show from the 80s?
I do know.
Mrs. Garrett and Joe.
Take
the good, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the fact. Of course, and I have to watch these with her. That's why. So we're making some. She's not a big scrambled egg fan. She likes her eggs. She likes her fried eggs. So we did some bacon. We had the bagels going. We had all that. And we have one of those big long platters that you make the bacon with, you know.
Yeah, sure.
And then I realized the bacon grease is about ready to overflow.
Ew.
So, honey, what do we do with the bacon grease? And then, of course, you guys could. I got to cover.
Did she have to step in?
No, she didn't. I said, just tell me, and I will take care of it.
Did you catch fire?
No, it didn't catch fire.
What's the end result?
The end result was I burnt. Actually, I put one of the kids in charge of the bacon while I was doing the other stuff.
Right.
And actually, what happened? No, she did step in, as a matter of fact, because she said, since it's one of those grates, like a Skittle grates that cover up 2 burners.
Yes, I do know.
Okay, so the back burner does not go quite as hot as the front burner does.
Yeah.
Okay, so she turned up the heat on the back burner.
Right.
To make it hot as the front burner, and of course, all the bacon on the back end getting burnt.
It's interesting. I believe that the uterus does 2 things.
The uterus.
The uterus provides people the ability to cook and to find things.
She's very good at finding things.
It's true.
Yeah.
Where are my socks? Stand by.
Yes.
Oh, there it's in the closet.
Yeah. Well, there's a great joke that kind of goes around on the internet about things your mother taught you. She teaches you about religion.
Right.
You better pray that comes out of the carpet.
Right.
She teaches you about anticipation. Just wait till your father gets home. Right. That kind of stuff. And then we cooked dinner as well. Now dinner was a little better. I barbecued, and we had the corn on the cob, and we had some chicken and some sausage and some bread and some other veggies, and then we decided it was so nice outside. I go, and my wife and daughter were sitting in the hot tub, and it was about 7 o'clock at night. I go, you guys want to eat outside? So we decided to eat outside. Of course, not realizing the patio table hadn't been cleaned in 6 months and had a layer of gunk all over it. And I go, well, we got a lot more work to do now, trying to get this thing ready to go. So we just kind of hung out.
Okay, so you were pretty nice Mother's Day. You're a pretty good husband. I think I won that one. Okay, we're going to do
it's just the 2 of you.
Right.
I should have had help.
How about
I had to cook for 5. You cooked the dang waffle.
You win with strawberries.
Okay.
And a little bit of that. Okay, so my next talk was going to be Rock in Rio. I couldn't give less of a shit about Rock in Rio.
I thought you were liking the music though.
No, here's the deal on that. Interesting thing, they had 80,000 people, half of what they were hoping for on the first weekend. First weekend was the rock and roll weekend. They had No Doubt on Friday, which really isn't super rock and roll. It's more poppy, punky kind of stuff.
Right.
And then they had Metallica and Sepultura and Linkin Park, good point, which was the next day, the Saturday, which I would have liked to have seen Metallica. That would have been good. And I heard the reviews of the show were very, very good.
The Metallica.
Here's the problem. Parking, pain in the ass. Got a bus in. There's no place to
Well, I talked to a friend of mine who works at the SLS, which is the new hotel that used to be the Sahara across the street. And I asked him, I saw him on Saturday morning, and I said, hey, how was Rock in Rio last night? He goes, you know what? I was kind of surprised. It wasn't as bad as I thought. I was surprised at how many people actually took the monorail. He goes, the problem was, though, they took the monorail all the way down to the SLS.
And walked right through there.
Well, and they had to walk through the hotel.
Right.
But then the entrance into the event was back by Circus Circus. So if you think about it, you actually had to make a big J. He goes, it's a ton of walking. He goes, I walked it myself. It is a lot of walking. And then after the concert, however, when it's over, they open up the floodgates and people
dumped out.
Go out everywhere they go.
Yeah.
Because it probably empties out in about 20 minutes because they just kind of say, off you go. So you're dumping out onto Sahara, onto, across from the SLS and wherever. But to get in, you had to get in up north. Or south, I should say, down by Circus Circus.
Yeah, so I didn't actually read anything particularly good or bad about it. It was like, it's pretty good. And the people who worked there all said the same thing. It's our first year. We're just happy to be here. We're working on it. We'll be here year after year. I think every
Right.
2 years they're going to be here.
And what happens when that property's sold and they put a casino there?
Well, I think that they probably won't do that. Would be my guess. I don't know.
For one weekend a year?
Well, they're going to do other things there. I mean, it's basically a fairground now.
Right.
They can put whatever the hell they want there.
Okay.
So it's not. It wasn't built just for them.
Okay.
That was the impetus. Plus, a lot of people, including Cirque du Soleil, MGM, and these guys, put in millions of dollars
Gotcha. Okay.
to build this.
I know
place.
some people actually went as well. They thought Metallica were terrific.
Yeah, I heard just great things about them.
Yeah. And that's the only one I
was
really
the one
heard
thing I
about.
heard that was good.
Funny thing was, I heard it from adults, people our age that were going, and then a bunch of friends or guys that are in high school were going as well. So
Right.
it was drawing the kids. And I guess this weekend Taylor Swift's coming, right?
Yes.
And who else with the Taylor Swift?
Criminy, I don't know.
The Taylor Swift.
A bunch of other poppy people. Taylor Swift, by the way,
She's terrific.
she's okay with me.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She's fantastic. Okay, and finally, real quick on our quick starts. I wish I had a. Hold on.
Bruno Mars, thank you.
For Riviera, it's going to be liquidated. Riviera, now you get to buy 60-old kitchen shit and stuff. Okay, so Riviera was shut down last week. Terribly bummer.
Tomahawk say no.
Oh, I'm so sorry that they shut down there. It's one of the classics. Yeah, right. That's why you went there. Oh no, I didn't really go there, but I feel. Then shut the hell up. If you wanted to survive, maybe you should have gone. Anyways, just like Sahara, they're liquidating this thing. Now I went to the Sahara liquidation, and it was sad.
Right. To buy a lamp from 1974?
I bought two things there. I bought a camel lamp, which is awesome. It's in our lobby when you first walk into the studio.
Not a camel toe.
No.
Okay.
That's not nice. Kathy's not going to like that comment. So camel lamp, and then I bought I don't know, like what do you call it? A Davenport? No, that's not what it is. It's like a couch thing, whatever you call it. Yeah. That was on the outside of when you walked out into the lobby.
A Chase lounge kind of thing?
It's flat. It's in my hallway of the studio. It's that purple thing. When you walk out of an elevator to each floor, that's what you first saw.
Okay, yeah. Just more of a bench seat.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
and
right.
My daughter Melissa or Heather, she found one because they were hard to find. They're kind of a hot commodity. She grabs it, puts it on her back, gets in the elevator. I see her coming out of the elevator with this thing on her back. I'm like, yeah, we Whitneys will take anything. Anyways, so the
I want one.
Riviera is now doing their liquidation, and man, I'm telling you what, kids, this looks sad.
When is the big sale?
It starts on Thursday, May 14th at 9 a.m.
All right.
Continues 9 to 7, Monday through Saturday. Sundays.
Oh,
10.
you actually have a graphic. I did not know
What do you
that.
think I am?
Look at that.
Amateur city?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, this is so you can get.
I'd like to see what those some of those things look like from a CSI standpoint. And, shine the blue light on the items in the Riviera.
A black light.
A black light.
Can we take a what is that white glowing?
Exactly.
Whoa, geez,
Yes.
that can't be good. Right. So if you want to have, circa 1970 lamps, which, by the way, who doesn't? This is your place to go. I went through here. I didn't really see anything that really jumped out.
What kind of prices are you expecting?
They don't tell you.
No.
They don't tell you. If it's like the Sahara one, they're labeled right on there. I mean, this is kind of cool. I mean, it wouldn't be bad to have.
It would be kind of cool to have a gaming table.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's got the Riviera logo on it. That's I think
Those are the things that'll probably sell for a good price, though. And it's
yeah.
But if you're looking for if you need a 13-inch black and white TV,
they're like
you might get one for like $12 because there's one in every room.
That's exactly right. What are we going to do with that, Dave? I don't know. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take it out in the desert and shoot
If
it.
they have a roulette wheel, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I like that kind of stuff. And then it just
Yeah, but you're talking about thousands, I think, for those. Because you're buying a piece of history
I
with
remember what those were.
Well, but you're buying it with the with the Riv logo or script on it. So
Yeah, it might be interesting.
As opposed to buying that pot.
And then look at this.
That kitchen utensil. Like
thousands of old
rat-infested kitchen items.
Right. Or hey,
how about some chips?
Would you like a velvet rope?
Yeah, you could use one here for crowd control.
I've got velvet ropes. I've got that if you want.
How about a banquet table?
There's your velvet ropes, everybody.
And some bar stools.
Yeah, so.
Yes, many a drunk fell off this stool. Don Rickles fell off this stool in 1974.
So it's a little sad, like this spotlight. This spotlight is circa 1960.
Oh my goodness!
Right.
No kidding.
You light that thing up, and the entire house dims. You get a call from NV Energy. Hey, excuse me, did you buy spot number 3 from Riviera? Yeah, we did. How did you know? Yeah, because we had that on our do not use list. We're going to have to ask you not to put that into place. But I paid for it. Yeah, you're kind of an idiot. Okay, good call. Good talk to you here, sir. All right, so if you want to buy stuff from them, I invite you to do so. And if you get something cool, they didn't really have a really iconic thing like, for example, the very groovy camel lamps, which I thought were outstanding. Okay, so that's it for our
cool.
BS. I got rid of that one because we're just rambling along, and it's just too much. Although I tell you what, pro athlete income, it's not what you think it is.
Well, it depends on who you are and what pro and what sport we're talking about, Willis.
I was talking to Jerome on it. It's bad. It's paid.
Well, there's a minimum. Yeah.
Well, but I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about what happens to the money. It's crazy.
Well, because you have
they
advisors.
have to pay taxes in every single.
Of course they do.
Well,
entertainers do as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well,
it's crazy.
That's why if you want to,
54% of his income gone in taxes.
Well, first of all, for that particular person you're talking about, worked in Canada for a lot of his career, and taxes there are a lot higher. And then you're playing. He's also in the Eastern Conference, so you're playing games in New York and Pennsylvania and D.C. Right. That's why a lot of pro athletes want to be in Texas and Florida.
And I said that, and they said, all right. And I said, well, can you live there but play in New York? They goes, no. If you're going to, you can, but the problem is
it's where the games are being held. It's where the games are being held. Right. So if you're a baseball player and you're in Texas and you have 81 home games at home, at least 50% of the schedule is there, and there's other teams that are also in Texas, and that's kind of the thing.
I have a whole new respect for that. They're not as rich as you think they are. But they're so rich. Okay. Hey, today's main topic. One of the great things that happens when you move to the Las Vegas is that I'm telling you, the very first year we moved here physically in August of 2005.
Oh, you're a pup.
Yes, I am. And for the first, this is no BS, for the first, I think it was 9 weekends. We went out into October, maybe even more. The first 9 weekends we had visitors. This was our first, when we first moved here.
That's too much.
It was nuts.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's kind of fun, though.
Well, you want to be able to settle in a little bit, don't you?
But it was kind of...
kick your feet up and go, I'd like to be like, enjoy this beautiful Sunday afternoon without having to worry about taking you down to the frickin' strip again.
I get it, but it was like, wow. And what was interesting about it is, we came from the Bay Area, and we had, friends there. Melissa had a ton of friends there. And the quality of the visit was so much better here than it ever was in our previous hometown or where we live, because everybody's running around. They got to pick up the kids, and I got an hour for you. But you come here to Vegas and you're hanging out with us. Well, you're going to be hanging out with us. You're pretty much focused. So the quality of the visit was much better. But I was thinking, where are the places that I take folks? Where are the places I want to go, hey, I'm going to just kind of show you some behind-the-scenes kind of groovy thing, and you're going to go, wow, I know Vegas insider stuff. Because, of course, look, everybody wants to go see the fountains at Bellagio, and there's a volcano at Mirage, and the new high roller thing, and, hey, let's go to the Las Vegas sign, and Boulder Dam, and Red Rock.
Go on a damn tour and visit the damn cafeteria, take some damn pictures, and do all that. Yeah, you go out to Red Rock, the top of the stratosphere.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
All that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. So I thought, well, what are the places that I like to take
Drive
people
down the strip at night?
Exactly. And
do that on a Wednesday.
And so
that's all I'm saying.
Right. And some of those things you got to do. If somebody says, man, I just want to drive the strip, sounds great. Let's drive the strip.
Right.
I get it. But what are the kind of things that I like to do that's like, hey, you're not going to find this in your town. This happens in Vegas. This is the kind of thing that we're going to do. So I've got little categories. We will begin with Brett's favorite category, drinking.
Drinking. That's you. You're the man when it comes to the drinking.
I don't know about that. I've seen you. I've been reviewing our shows, by the way. You're Mr. Drinky Pants.
You think?
That's your new nickname.
Mr. Drinky Pants.
Mr. Drinky Pants.
Yes.
Holy crap.
Not Mr. Pee Your Pants. Mr. Drinky Pants. Speaking of which, can I have another beer, sir?
Yes, you can. Mr. Real Quick Story or Mr. Drinky Pants.
Mr.
And that, my friends, is how broadcasting magic happens. You just make it up as you go, kids. It's not for everybody. Okay, so let's start with drinks. Okay, first place, off the strip. This is where it's at if you want to go to dive bars. There are a couple of great dive bars here, but my favorite dive bar is Frankie's Tiki Room. Now, this bar is craptastic in that it's off of Charleston. From the outside, you're like, there's no parking. It's a pain in the ass to get in there. But you go in there, it's a tiki goddess. There's tiki stuff all over the way, all over the place. Rum drinks. Do you like the rum drinks?
I do like rum, yeah.
They pour it like the big boys do. You want to have a rum drink at Frankie, you better find yourself a place to sit down, because those drinks are big boy drinks. And they've got like 60s and 50s movies playing in the background. It wouldn't be uncommon to see a guy carving a tiki in the middle of this place.
Right.
It's awesome. They have phallic tikis so girls can point at it and laugh and take pictures. I've got some of those pictures, by the way, and I'll make real money on those at some point. So Frankie Tiki Room, nobody's got that. Anywhere
That's
else.
basically right at Charleston and the 15 across from like Rancho, right there.
That's right.
Shadow Lane, exactly where it is.
But wait a minute, Scott. I would like to do something a bit fancy.
Well, no, I would say if we're going to do a dive bar, my favorite dive bar, and it's without question, my favorite is the Double Down.
Double Down.
Absolutely. Right there across from UNLV, you get yourself some ass juice.
Yep.
And you know the history of ass juice.
I have not
and the
been in that bar.
You've not been there?
No.
First of all, they got a great sign that simply says, shut up and drink.
Yeah.
It's also pitch dark no matter when you walk into the place. There are no windows. You walk in at 12 o'clock in the afternoon from the burning sun, and you're walking into a cave, and you're like, do they not believe in electricity?
Right.
And you're trying to make out faces, when you walk in from the inside to the outside.
Right.
They do have one of those photo booth things, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
And a pool table, and they got some music, and there's people having sex over in the corner. Almost every time I've been in there. Is that guy getting? Yeah, he is.
So getting head?
No, yeah, it's happened. Oh yeah. So but the thing about ass juice, which is their famous drink there.
Yep.
Basically, what happened is it first of all it changes every day. It's never the same drink. It's up to the overnight bartender to create the day's brew,
of ass
which
juice.
they simply call ass juice. So it's if you took like
it's served in a toilet bowl, right?
They can serve it with a mug. With the toilet, or it's just a regular shot.
Oh, okay.
But if you took basically like a Long Island iced tea, and now just took that kind of combination of alcohols,
which is dangerous,
and you create something completely different, using a variety of different alcohols. Right. It does have a little bit of a continuity taste to it, but it really is up to. Oh, I've had it every time I go in there. You have ass juice.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that.
Well, you have to.
Yeah. And what's the place? The other good dive bar.
Well, down the street
Flamingo.
on the strip. Well, on the strip, it's Dino's.
No. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. But the other one is it's right by Batali's Italian restaurant
On Flamingo.
Yeah, it's on Flamingo. Oh, geez, I forgot the name of it. It's craptastic. Dollar beers. It's awesome.
Right.
Okay, now wait a minute. Stage door. Thank you. So next one, Scott. I'm a fancy kind of guy. I dress nicely. I wear a suit and tie when I go out. I don't want to go to these dark bars that you speak of. Okay, all right, Buffy, relax. I've got a place for you. We're going to go to the Chandelier Bar at the Cosmopolitan. Arguably one of the prettiest bars in Las Vegas. It's 3 stories. It actually has a chandelier. Every story of those 3 stories have different cocktail menus. So the menu, in floor 1 is different than the menu in floor 2. It's a good place to bring tourists or guests because the Cosmopolitan is it's a nice looking casino. They can't figure out how to make money, but it's kind of.
Well, I know I can't make money. It's the crappiest layout of any casino in the
I didn't say it was a good layout. I just said
that's why I don't go there.
Well, I don't. I'll quit yelling.
I couldn't find the restaurants.
Well, it's because it's on the second floor.
Well, yeah, and then I was on the second floor.
That was the problem.
I was trying to find the restaurant for the pool because we were going to go have brunch one day. Let's go have brunch on the strip and go hang out by the pool at the Cosmo.
Yep.
Okay, so you go upstairs, and now you're by the restaurants, and they're all closed because it's like Sunday morning at 11 o'clock.
Right.
And then you're walking around trying to figure it out. Where is the pool? And you're following the sign to the pool. There's whatever restaurant it is at the pool. And you're walking through the convention area. You're walking past all the banquet halls. You're walking and you're walking and you're walking. You go, there's no freaking way I'm walking the proper direction because I think I'm now by Red Rock. Red Rock.
Right.
I've walked so far, I don't know where I am.
I'm in Red
and then
Rock.
Suddenly you're at the pool.
Yeah.
You go, this is not a good
It is weird.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going off of a tangent here. What? A tangent? That almost never
That's
happens.
What we do.
They actually changed the way you are allowed to get to the restaurant. It used to be you could go into what is, by the way, the coolest parking garage in Las Vegas, which is the
I do like that. That is nice.
It's an amazing parking garage at Cosmo. A little green light. Hey, that one's open.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you used to be able to go into the elevator, go up to the second floor, and eat. It won't let you do that now.
Right.
Now they force you to go to the first floor. Why? That's where the gaming is. People were bypassing the gaming.
Of course they are.
Which is a design issue. But anyways, they have great music at the Chandelier Bar, nice drinks. And it's the typical place. It's very expensive, $18 drinks. It's kind of like the Mandarin Bar. It's a gorgeous bar, nice jazz kind of thing, great view, but you're going to pay out the nose. But it's very, very pretty. People look at it and go, oh, wow, this is really neat. Right. Another place I like to take people is called Parasol Down, which is at Wynn. And so there's a Parasol up, and there's a Parasol down. So the Parasol up is that when you first walk in, you can't miss it. It's basically their center bar. But then if you go down the rounded escalator, of which there are only 2 in the world, both of which are in Las Vegas.
Really?
That may be a lie, by the way.
He just made that up.
But it's a
Where's this at again?
It's at Encore. I mean, Win.
Win.
Yeah, so you got to go down.
I don't think I've ever seen it before.
Well, see, it's
I've seen it.
You go down, and it's got both an indoor and outdoor play. You want to be outdoors because it has their hidden lake that they have with this big waterfall and crazy things. Big giant flowers come out at night, and it's a little bit of a light show. Super cool. Most people don't go there. So it's kind of a hip, hey, and look, I know some stuff. So those are my 3 favorite places to go for drinking. Now, one of them that I'm going to talk about later, it also fits for drinking, but we're going to put it off for a minute. Next, entertainment. Okay, look. We have people come in all the time and say, can we go to a Cirque show? Yes, we can go to a Cirque show. Hey, can we see Absence? Yes, we can. How about $1 million quartet? Yeah, or Jersey Boys? Yeah, absolutely. We're going to do that. We can do all those kind of things. It's expensive, but they're great. What I like to show people are the B and C level shows, because you're not going to see that at Poughkeepsie. Hell, you're not going to see it in San Jose, California. This is the heart of what Las Vegas is. Cirque? Come on! Everybody is seeing Cirque. I want to see the heart. So this is the heart. So here's where you want to go. First of all, if you're a local and you're taking your friends to these shows, you must be a member of House Seats. You also have to be a member of KSHP. But House Seats is pretty hot. And let me tell you why. Let me show you the House Seats website. Right now, at this moment, I can see any of these shows for free. So I can go see some Magic. I can see Defending the Caveman, Gordy Brown, Mike Hammer, blah, 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 The King. I can see all that stuff. Doesn't cost
membership is, well, you have to buy a membership, which is
$89 a year for 4 people, for 4 tickets. Pretty hard to beat that. So what are my favorite shows that are on there? Now, I used to recommend one guy who used to go by the hypnotist, but he's such a douchebag that I'm not going to talk about him anymore. But here's who I like. Mike Hammer.
You put us up there. Look at that. Look at you up there.
Oh, hey, look at that. You probably didn't want to see that. Mike Hammer, you just got to see the behind the scenes of how
that was
the
it.
whole show.
Yeah.
That was pretty
That
much
was
fun.
the Crip Notes.
Thank you for seeing that.
Those are the Monarch Notes, the Cliff Notes.
Mike Hammer is probably one of my favorite B-C level shows. He's a magic comedy guy. Pretty nice guy, fun. Always enjoy talking to him. But a great show. That's at Four Queens in their whatever that little theater is called.
The Four Queens.
Yeah, Four Queens. This is in downtown. Hysterical. Does a ton of crowd work, which I like a lot. It's one of those nobody is safe kind of things. But he's very, very funny. Melissa Hates Magic. Loved that show because it's both magic and comedy. So I really like Mike Hammer. Comedy shows, there's about 50 comedy shows here in Las Vegas. That's a slight exaggeration, but not by much. And they're all free if you're on one of these things. You should never pay for comedy. So LA Comedy Club, well, the Riviera had one.
Bally's
has that was the LA Comedy Club. I just showed one.
Tropicana had one forever.
What was the other one that I...
the Brad Garrett show, is that still around? Brad Garrett?
Yeah, Brad Garrett's usually... It is. Las Vegas Live Comedy. Brad Garrett's at MGM.
Yeah. I thought he was at the... Okay.
He was at Trop. He moved to MGM a long time ago. That one usually doesn't show up on the free stuff. But
I've seen a few of them. I would agree. The BC, like Defending the Caveman, I think is good. Gordy Brown is good.
Well, and Gordy Brown's
the
on my
Ultimate
list.
Variety Show.
V is on my list.
Those are all. The cool thing about V had a guy. I don't know if you're a comedian, but he I don't know. Somehow he memorized every zip code in the country.
Is this V?
No, it's for V. One of the acts of V.
Oh, really?
And it would say, okay, where's everybody from? I don't know what city you're from. I'm going to tell you where you're from. What's your zip code? And you'd say 89117. Well, you're just from right down the street, aren't you? And then somebody would say 0117. Oh, you're from Trenton, New Jersey. I mean, and the whole way now realizing that zip codes start, the lower the number, the zeros East Coast, the higher the numbers, 9,000. You notice California's are, what was your California zip code?
Nine
right.
something.
So from 0 East Coast to 9 West Coast.
Right.
So when somebody says 50 whatever, okay, I'm probably in Ohio Texas. Or Indiana somewhere. And you're figuring that out. Because if you're in Chicago, it's the sixes, St. Louis is the sixes, and on down. Pretty interesting. I think a great kids show, if you want to take something for the kids, so you have a family that comes in and visits. The kiddos, there's nobody better than the Matt King Comedy Show for an afternoon show.
Very good. So we actually have people in the live chat are beginning to talk a little bit. Matt King, I haven't seen his show. I met him. He was a guest on one of our shows in the Vegas Video Network. He was super nice, did some magic for us. Also, Jeff Savilico, is that how you pronounce his last name? Savilico, yeah. Jeff does a juggling show. All right. That's super kid-friendly. He's very good.
So he's not juggling chainsaws and knives and stuff? Or maybe?
He's not juggling chainsaws. But he's super nice. That's over.
All right, let's ask a different question. What is the worst show you've seen in Las Vegas?
Oh, jeez.
The worst show. The one you walked away with going, thank God I didn't pay for that. Or, I can't believe I paid for that. Right.
What is the worst show? Let me think about that.
I might have to think about it.
Because it's not coming out. It's because I've seen I've seen some craptastic shows too.
Mystere might have been my answer, but that's beside the point.
No, Mystere is awesome.
I hated it.
Oh, you're such.
I just didn't like it. I hated it. Actually, I would have to say.
No.
I just didn't like that.
Humanity, what you're going to say, right?
Well, that one was. Well, that one was kind of interesting. Well, the lesbians in the cocktail thing, I could. The contortionist lesbians in the cocktail pool.
Let me just say this.
That
about
was interesting.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Actually, a friend of mine, he has a daughter who is in one of the Cirque shows. And she's a young girl who's a great dancer, went to college. She's actually in Love, the Beatles show, which is my favorite show of all time in Las Vegas.
Great show.
God, I actually enjoyed We Will Rock You. When that was here for a short time, the Queen show. I
didn't see that. That was here when I first moved here.
I like that too.
I like to. Oh God, that's a great question. I'm gonna have to think about worst show. That could be a whole. That could be. You know what we should do? We should do a whole show on craptastic shows.
Yeah.
We should just crush a bunch of people's dreams.
Okay. There was another one I liked. That I liked was a friend.
Yeah, we use crush some dreams.
Great.
Good. That's right. That's why you're on your second wife, you douchebag. Okay, moving on. Piano bars. Piano bars are some of the funnest, which isn't a real word, piano bars. If you're in the mood for a piano bar, holy camoles.
So you spend a lot more time on the Strip than the average Joe.
I do. That's why
you do.
I'm wonderful, and you're,
Well, so when you have people visiting what do you call this place now?
Drinky Pants.
I'm Drinky Pants.
Right.
Arches at Whitney Villa. Are they staying with you, or are they staying on the Strip?
They're staying with me, of course.
Okay, that's part of your problem. Because then you are forced to entertain them. Well, he's even got a shot glass. He's got the Arches at Whitney Villa shot. How much does that cost you?
I don't want to talk about it. Cheap.
That is awesome. How long did it take you to get those made?
Don't talk to me.
All right. How long did it take you to get those made?
Arches at Whitney Villa, people.
Like I said, that was not my favorite choice of your logo, but it turned out nice.
This is great. This is going to be for our Saturday party. This will be for the winner of Cornhole and for what's the other game we're playing? We're playing Bocce Ball.
Bocce Ball. You're in trouble.
Winners, get this.
You're in trouble with that.
Really? I don't doubt it because I suck. Okay. Piano bars. There's 3 that I've been to, and I like all 3. First one.
You've been to more than 3 because we talked about the other one.
Which was the other one?
With the one that what in the world is that place?
It's nice.
Bellagio.
That's not a piano. I don't mean that. Dueling piano bar is what I mean. The raucous piano bar, not that. I'm talking about raucous. Singing along, drinking. Hey, that kind of piano bar. So first one, Flamingo. That one is great, because it's got Fat Elvis there every once in a while. I'm not sure if he's still alive or not, but God, he's fun.
Right.
He sings like a mother. He's about 400 pounds. He has to sit the entire show. hysterical. But he can sing. And then they got the standard, two people. They have two women there, not as good as the two guys, but which is pretty sexist, but nonetheless, it's true. And so, right, sing me a song, I'm a piano man. Yeah, yay! And it's right on the strip, right? So you can turn around, you're looking at people on the strip, and they're looking at people, and you're turning around, you're putting up signs, you're a 10. Yeah! That's what you get to do. New York has probably the best piano bar, the most raucous, really great energy there. And these guys who are playing there are probably the best piano guys in Las Vegas for that kind of gig. And then between Paris and Bally's, there's like a little mall kind of thing in the middle. It's kind of a weird thing. Like a burger place.
That's the new Bally's outdoor mall thing.
That's on the outside.
Oh, you're talking about inside.
Yeah, it's inside. On the inside, I'm going to put a piano bar in 200 degrees. Right.
Really? 200 degrees? That might be a record.
How come the piano keeps going at 2? I have no idea. Maybe it's because
we're on Mars?
It's 150 degrees, direct sunlight on our piano. Yeah, but that's no reason. Yeah, it's actually a really good reason, so quit complaining. Right. So that one is a pretty good one. It's not as good as the New York Flamingo. Okay, food. Let's eat.
Well, you like steak. So we're talking steak or are we talking something different?
A variety of things. Let's start with,
I think your third choice is only because it's a...
oh, yeah, because it's pure...
Yeah, the food is not good there.
Pure shit.
Right.
Oh, I should have beeped that. Yeah, it's pure... There we go.
You still said it. You got to delete the whole thing now.
I know, but it's something I have to get... I don't have to...
We know how much you love number 1 and number 2.
Number 1, Capitol Grill. I'm telling you...
But you can see, I can go to Capitol Grill in San Jose. So it's got to be unique to Vegas, so you got to throw that out.
I know, and here's why it's unique. Oh, good call, Mr. Brett. I hear where you're going with this, and I can...
You like the view. I understand the view.
It's got an amazing view.
It does.
And amazing service. So that's it. You've got great food, amazing service, and an outstanding view. And by the way, it is the best steak I have. And I'm a steak snob. I've been to Delmonico.
He's a snake snob.
I've been to Craft Steak. I've been to, you name it.
Have you tried the Carne Vino?
Yes.
Didn't like it?
It was fine. But it wasn't
just
but
fine.
I didn't go. I eat the
Delmonico's?
I eat the Delmonico steak at Craft or at Cap Grill. I'm like, oh, angels and stuff come out of me. And then Joey, the waiter's like, "How you doing?" I'm like, and by the way, that's a place. That's a classy place. That's where you can buy the bartender or the waiter a drink. Yeah, this one's for you.
At Capitol Grill?
Yeah.
Mr. Bradley appreciates that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Right. So Cap Grill. Next one, off strip. So not everybody wants to be on strip. They want to see.
Absolutely.
What do people do?
I rarely go eat on the strip.
Even when you have guests?
Well, first of all, guests don't stay with me because they're not invited unless they have to. Like it's a friend and they have a baby, then okay. So usually here's the best way to avoid that. Hey, Brett, we're all coming to Vegas. And my question is, where are you staying?
But
what hotel are you staying at?
I like it.
See, I like my space at home.
I love it.
Don't crowd my space.
See, we've got a nice little
and don't you dare sit in my chair.
Well, nobody does that.
Yeah.
I have a little sign there that says Scott's chair, get the hell away.
Don't sit in Brett's chair.
I would say 90% of the people who have come to visit us stay with us. Easily 90%, maybe 95%.
See, but the difference is you don't have children in your house, and you have plenty of space.
Yeah, we got
and we have space. Don't get me wrong, but I also have 2 or 3 children at a time, and their lives and things that are going on.
Completely.
So maybe I will change that attitude later on.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Our vibe.
Like my in-laws stay with us, but that's not a big deal because she makes me dinner.
Right.
So it's
right.
An Italian mother-in-law who likes to cook. God bless her.
No, when people come and visit us, it's like it's an adult getaway. We're having a good time. We're making devil's margarita. By the way, this is 1/3 of a devil's margarita. 1/3 of a devil's margarita.
All right. What are the other 2/3?
We should actually make
tequila.
That one. Tequila.
And what's the other one?
Frozen limeade.
Frozen limeade.
Maybe we'll make one of those for one of these shows. We'll just whip up some devil's margaritas and we'll teach people how to do it. All right.
What kind of tequila do you choose?
I use Jose Cuervo. Okay. Just crapwood, whatever it is. Yeah. And then finally, for my food place, Peppermill. And the reason is because it is.
Oh, good Lord!
Here it is. It's pure. Yeah, it absolutely is. Now
the Fireside Lounge is cool. The Sunken Lounge, and that's
why you go there because they've got fuzzy stuff and fire coming out of water, And quite frankly, with except for hemorrhoids, you don't really get fire out of water.
Well, you know, the interesting thing about the peppermill, when your old studio was over there on Convention Center Drive, I was cutting through the back of the peppermill to get onto the strip to head north, and I almost ran over a homeless guy until I realized what he was doing. He was sitting down on the curb and he was taking a leak. So as I drove by him, he had his Johnson hanging out and he's taking a leak in the parking lot.
Hey, don't judge.
But he did it while sitting down. I thought that was rather impressive.
Well, you know what that means?
He did not appear to get a drop on himself.
That
That's
means
pretty
he's
impressive.
European, because some of those guys sit down when they pee, those big babies. Especially Germans. Any Germans watching? Hell with you. Okay, just kidding.
Jawohl.
Oh, yeah. I don't like you.
Oh, good.
I don't even know what that was. All right. But
Sergeant Schultz.
great bar. And what? Their breakfasts are good. You could have a breakfast the size of your face.
Right.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times.
It's so what's the word? Not sticky. Quiche. What's the word I'm looking for?
It's
Kitschy. It's so kitschy.
kitschy.
You can't beat it. All right, next one. Here's the deal.
Cheesy is what it is.
If it's a husband and wife coming, here's what inevitably happens. Melissa is a ninja shopper, and I mean ninja with a capital ninja.
As in loves to do it.
I'm not kidding here. She has actually gone to a store.
And bought it.
And she bought it pretty much. She's gone to a store, gone into an aisle,
Right.
and stayed in a single aisle for hours. Hours.
No.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Shopping?
Well,
Looking?
okay, what are you looking at?
I don't know. I don't understand this
These
language.
darn women.
I've actually seen women come from her in almost like tears. She is horrible when it comes to that, or really good. But here's the deal. Hey, Melissa and I, this is the other wife, Melissa and I want to go shopping, or Melissa says, Julie and I want to go shopping. We want to go to the shopping, and the husband and I'm like, oh, man.
Here's your keys.
No.
See ya.
Yeah. So
I'm going to watch the football game.
I can do that, but it depends on the husband. Now, some husbands are a little weak.
Yeah.
I can say, have a good time. We'll be in the studio doing fun things. But if we have to go, I'm not afraid. Yeah. Because we have something here in Las Vegas in shopping malls that nobody else has in America, and that is drinking.
Well, that's the basis for the Tom Hanks movie Cocktail.
It is the greatest.
I will have the bar in every shopping mall in the country.
It is the greatest thing in the world.
There are like little Bennigan's places around the country that you can
doesn't count.
Yeah, there are.
That
some
does
places.
not count.
You're
I
talking
can
about
walk around with a drink in these malls. 2 malls that I always go to, Forum Shops, which is part of Caesars. And I can look at big fountains, and I can walk around with my drinks. Do you want a big drink like the tourists do? Absolutely. Do you want to have a manly drink? Absolutely. Are you allowed? Do you have to stay right there? Hell no. I can walk around and go, hey, let's look at real expensive watches, which I'm kind of a watch guy. Yahoo! We're going in.
Do you ever wonder, though, how those places are actually in business? Because I never see anybody buy anything at the really expensive shops.
Did you know that?
It's one thing if you walk into the Swarovski crystal place, or whatever you said, and you can buy some knickknacks. You go to the little jewelry store and you might buy a pendant or some earrings. But we're talking, who's going to buy that $14,000 painting that's the size of a pickup truck? And who's doing that?
Here's a news flash for you. Forum Shops is the highest grossing mall in the country.
That's amazing to me. That's because there's great restaurants at the Forum Shops.
Maybe, but it's
go to the Palm.
They've got
restaurant.
the greatest watch store in the world,
right?
Which is 3 stories big, and it's just got every watch that you want. And the average price of those watches is probably $5,000. But it's got
But a watch you can put on your wrist and walk out the door.
Yeah,
I'm talking about buying something that's not going to quite fit in my suitcase. I realize they're allowed to ship.
They'll ship those for you.
Yeah.
And by the way,
same
if
time,
they do
like,
ship it, they don't have to charge tax, as I understand,
Yeah,
which is part of their play. But yeah, there was a report that it was the highest grossing mall ever. So that's a good one because it's big and it's a lot of things that the women like, and they've got a couple of things that are visually fun. And the other one is Grand Canal at Venetian.
Yeah.
It's a fun mall. They've also got some fancy stuff. They've got the
I get lost every time I walk in there because I'm trying to get myself back to the Palazzo.
Yeah,
and I go the opposite direction. I go, where in the world am I going?
Yep.
And I go the wrong direction.
You can get a little confused, but they've got the guys, Hello, alla mia.
Oh, yeah. That's actually
you can't
pretty
beat
good.
that crap. That's
not
awesome.
bad.
Yeah.
I have a shopper who's actually one of the gondoliers and a singer.
What?
The guy who shops in the show. He comes into the office and he sings every time he comes to the office.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, he's terrific.
How fun is that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
You should put him on air.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get him a
Well, if we're on the air, you can hear him from the parking lot.
All right. Next. Views of the Strip, by the way, we're being attacked by police
at
helicopters.
1 hour, by the way. Just
hey,
so
nice
you know.
job. If you stop talking so much, God, we're going to do it again. We will never hit the 60 minutes.
Because you are slow. You tell more. See, I tell real quick stories. You don't.
Drinky Pants, I'm going to ask you to... I'm going to actually change your lower
I need a haircut. I need a haircut.
I do too. I'm going to have co-host Drinky Pants.
Co-host.
That's going to be your new, your RQS or Drinky Pants. You can pick whichever one you want. All right, view of the Strip. We're going to go a little faster here. First, my favorite ever, Cabo Wabo. You are lifted about 10 feet off the Strip. You're right across from Bellagio. Sea of humanity is below you. You've got the Crystal thing. You've got Cosmopolitan over there. You got Paris to the side. You've got relatively cheap beer. Great. It's covered. I'm telling you.
Do you enjoy crowds? Because you seem to enjoy crowds.
Depends on the crowd.
Okay.
But I do. I like the energy of people.
Okay.
I like that energy.
See, I'm kind of the other way. I'd rather be at like Prime Steakhouse at Bellagio looking back at the people while nobody's messing with me while I have my dinner and have a drink and look at the fountains.
Are people messing with you at Cabo Wabo?
Well, I just don't like being amongst that many people.
Well, you're very fancy.
So no, it's not. That's not so much that. It's just I've got my reasons.
I like people.
I've had way too many scans where I'm stuck inside tubes and I don't like being confined.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Okay, so there's my reason why.
One of the
I like being herded like cattle.
Yeah, see, I really like interacting with other people.
Yeah, I'm sure
that's
you do.
part of the fun. Right. There was. Well, I actually won't tell this story because I got in a little bit of trouble for it. But we're playing this couple, we're having some fun, and the next thing you know, I think they might get married because of me. So,
or a little wife swapping was offered. What?
I don't want to talk about that. So Cabo Wabo next. El Segundo Sol, which is the fashion show mall, Mexican restaurant, same thing. Good location, pretty good food, good drinks.
El Segundo Sol's cool.
Not as busy. Yeah. A little bit more open. I
think any one of those restaurants you mentioned, Capitol Grill, Maggiano's is also there. You get a window seat at Maggiano's. You got the same
Maggiano's,
view.
yeah, a little bit higher up there.
View.
Right. And then you actually mentioned Stratosphere, the 107 Lounge, which is at the 107th floor.
It'd be better for like 100. It's 107th lounge on the 110th floor.
Wouldn't that be great?
It'd be better. Just for fun.
It'd be like some guy going. It'd actually be somebody who has, I don't know, some diseasey thing, ADHD, and they'd be like, what's happening here? But don't eat there. They used to have, they still do have top of the world restaurant. And when 8 years ago, it was complete crap. And they knew it, and they told tourists, you didn't know it was crap. About 5 years ago, it became amazing, great restaurant. 2 years ago, and now crap again.
I'm on
Don't know what the hell
top
happened.
of the world. But the problem is you have to be looking at East Las Vegas for part of your dinner.
Right.
Well, there you go. I'm looking at the Naked City. There's the Naked City.
60 minutes all the way
Okay,
around.
my appetizers come. I'm still looking at the
60 minutes.
crappy part of Las Vegas.
Okay. Hey, Scott, I want to spend multiple hours doing something. Fair enough. Let's do this. Number one, Mob Museum.
Yep, Mob Museum is getting rave reviews. No doubt about that.
Have you been to it?
I have not yet, but I have experienced some of the things from people who have.
One of the most surprising things I've done.
There was a Mob
Vegas.
Museum somewhere else.
It was a Tropicana.
Nah, not that one. It was something else.
Oh, well, was one there. And it was
I know it was that one, but that wasn't the one
that
I had gone to. Maybe it was, but
it wasn't very
I don't
good.
recall it being there.
They opened at the same time these guys, but they got the shit beat out of them. Now this is our last show. One cuss word already. 7.
Well, it's because you can't stop yourself.
Yeah, it's all about you, Mr. Drinky Pants. Okay, so Mob Museum, 3 hours, 3.5 hours without even breathing hard. Strap on a water cooler. Get ready because you're going to be there for a while. But man, it's good. Now, here's the one thing that happens with all museums. After a while, some of the exhibits start to wear out. I saw the same thing there. That kind of pisses me off. But I'm telling you, it was pretty fast. And actually, a little bit grim. Come to find out. Mob guys used to shoot each other.
No,
what the hell is that all about? You got heads missing and stuff.
Well, I think the other one we talked about this a little bit is getting a chance to go to the Neon Museum, and you do it at night, and you see the boneyard and the old signs and the neon. that's going on. That's kind of cool. And you can also see some of that off of Fremont Street on 4th Street.
Yep.
Between Carson there. But yeah, the Neon Museum is pretty cool. But you do have to call ahead for hours.
Yeah, that pisses me
That's the
off.
part that it doesn't like me either. I don't like either. And I've talked to a member of the board about that as recently. He's a friend of mine. Like last week.
Yeah, because we talked about this
I'm
last
like,
week.
WTF, you're never open. He's like, yeah, and there you go. Figure that out. He goes, yeah, we're working on that.
Oh, good. Next one. Here's a special one that you probably wouldn't think of when you think of the Las Vegas, and you got to be a special breed of cat to do this. I get it. There's a AAA baseball team here called the 51s.
They're out of this world.
For Area 51s. They are out of this world.
That's their motto.
I'm with you. AAA. Yeah. They used to be AAA for Dodgers, and then they went sideways, and they're AAA for somewhere in Canada.
They were the Blue Jays. Now they're the Mets, the amazing Mets.
The amazing Mets. And I'll tell you what, that's a good 3 hours. You're going to spend $10.
Well, the cool thing is they do with minor league baseball. They have promotions all the time, and they have fun things going on in the crowd. They've got dollar beer nights. They've got fireworks stuff. They've got all that kind of cool stuff. And you definitely want to get the good seats, which might cost you $15. $15, maybe $16.
On the ground floor.
And you're right behind home plate, and you're under the misters.
That's exactly
because it's 110 degrees outside, and you are comfortably in the little humid 78 degrees.
It's amazing.
It is amazing, yes.
It's really, when we first moved here, we discovered it. I'd never been to a AAA game before.
They weren't in Portland. They were in Tacoma. Or they weren't in Tacoma. They were in... oh my goodness gracious! Where is
who? What? Who? Where?
The 51s were originally the Stars, and they're from the state of Washington, not on the coast. Spokane. They came from Spokane.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, and I know the former owner. His grandson.
Can you get us in?
Yeah, absolutely. I can get you in for free. Just make a phone call. I can get us into the 51s anytime you want.
Really?
I get you. We can hang out in the press box if you want to.
Really?
I know people.
Oh man, I'm
good friends with the president of the team.
I'm so happy to know.
I don't mean to name drop, but yeah, the president of the team. No, actually, what the story was in Spokane, before they moved, the owner of the team came down to Vegas a couple times as a tourist and talked to a couple of people and goes, be a good spot for a minor league team, and he kind of just picked up and. Guess what? We're in Vegas now. And they just moved to Vegas. Yeah. And they just kind of moved to Vegas. And they were the Stars, affiliated with the Padres for a long period of time.
Right.
And then they sold the team, and then the affiliation really has kind of bounced around.
Yeah.
A little bit. Part of the problem is, quite frankly, Cashman Field is horrible.
I was just going to mention. Okay, wait. But I have the complete opposite feeling about that. Now, I've never been to another AAA stadium. So that may be the reason.
Well, if you compare it to automobiles, Cashman Field is an AMC Pacer. Okay. And modern ballparks they're still minor league ballparks, but they are a nice foreign vehicle.
Okay, hold on.
They're Mercedes.
Just hold on for a minute.
They're not Maseratis
all right,
necessarily.
Mr. BMW, stand
by.
No,
okay, well, how about a nice Cadillac?
All right, Drinky Pants, give me a second here. Okay, look. I remember walking in there the first time and going, wow.
Yeah.
This is like a real baseball stadium if you washed it in hot water and dried it.
And if you build it in 1980s,
it'll hold, I think, 7,000 people. There's never 7,000 people there unless it's $1 beer night. By the way, that's kind of a pain in the ass. But I tell you what, I'm like, this is great. Now I don't know, but I thought it was terrific. It's a great time. Now, if you're only here for 2 days, you're probably not going to go to a 51s game. But if you're going to be here for a while, it is so. No, Melissa hates it. She hates baseball.
Right.
Thinks it's boring. Jackie, who's often in the live chat, loves it. Next time she's here, she wants to go to a 51 game.
I'll go to 51 games with her.
Here's
a quick 51 story.
Hey, wait a minute.
I got a real quick story.
A real quick story.
So I'm at a 51s game with my wife and kids, and this is a long time ago. And the kids might have been, my sons might have been 7 or 8. And before the game, my wife is still sitting in the stands, and we walked down to the rail to try and catch a foul ball, or a batting practice is going on, or to get an autograph or whatever. And my wife is sitting there watching. Meanwhile, there's 2 ladies sitting behind my wife, and she hears them say, "Oh, look, there's Brett and the twins." My wife turns around and has no idea who these people are.
Right.
And they're shoppers. They're customers on the radio shopping show.
And that proves the
Getty's
power.
like, from there, you got to stop talking about our family on the radio.
Oh, that's very Howard Sternian of you. All right, so there you go. Next place, multi-hours. Melissa will not go there anymore with me because somebody will threaten to beat her up and somebody else grabbed her ass. But it's Fremont Street Experience.
And I almost got mugged there. So I'm with you.
And so let me tell you about Fremont Street Experience. It is a different class of people. There is no question about that.
Right.
It is the great unwashed to some extent. But I tell you what, there's something to be said for being able to walk in a canopied world where each casino is not a mile apart, but it is
Across a small
it's
street.
4 steps apart from each other.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a valid
Pretty
point.
groovy. And then, of course, we've talked about it. Tons of live music in the nighttime. It really is a neat thing. They still are struggling with managing the buskers. I really don't want to see a guy who's 400 pounds in a diaper. It doesn't appeal to me. And even the pirate woman who's got boobs the size of, I don't know, you and me, perhaps.
Each one weighs 230 pounds.
Yeah, and she's got, bologna-sized pasties on it. I get the appeal. Probably not something I need to see. However, the two guys playing whatever that thing is that you do that on, those guys are great. So I'm a
Cello?
little... cello.
Cello?
Yes. I'm a little torn on that,
Tip it
but...
this way, and you've got a bass.
Man, it's
cello.
really pretty. There's some
That's
pretty
Jack
cool
Black
things.
from old
But listen...
School of Rock.
You got to go. Maybe your head's on a pivot a little bit. You're
My mother actually danced on the stages.
You
at
told me
Fremont.
this. You did an RQS on this.
I did.
And we were all very proud of you. And that's when we realized you are the RQS.
I am Mr. Drinky Pants.
Mr. Drinky Pants, which I'm going to have tattooed for you.
You know how many times I drink a week? Just one.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Well, I had a beer while barbecuing on Sunday.
I'm the bad influence.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
That's so crap.
I feel like I have to.
I can go ahead and rewind if you like. You asked for the second beer, not me.
You've had two.
I know, but you
You've
asked
had
for
two.
it.
I'm just keeping up with you.
No, you asked for it.
I did, but I knew you were out as well.
I'm like, hey, no, I know. Brett's a big baby.
How about hotel pools? What's your favorite pool?
Did you know that? Yes, you did, because you're a note reader. Okay, favorite hotel pool. There are many, but my favorite is actually MGM Grand. Here's why. So they have a lot of pools. Right. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 3 or 4 pools in there. I actually stopped a robbery there once. Did I tell you this?
No.
Oh, I really did.
Scott's got a real quick story.
But I'm not going to tell you the story because it really isn't I did a whole episode on it, but I stopped a heroin addict, whatever, from stealing some stuff. I actually chased her.
Did she walk around like this?
Well, you can kind of tell she's tweaking out a little bit.
Whoop.
But I actually chased her around the pool. I'm like,
was she stealing from you?
No, somebody was. Oh, it was so creepy. We were watching her come in. And I'm like, this chick's bad news. She's working in a team a little bit,
right?
And so she sits down. She's wearing kind of like a bra, not a bathing suit. Cut-off shorts, and she kept her shoes on. She never took her shoes off. So she's sitting in a chair next to, or a lounge next to a guy who was he was hungover.
Right.
So he's laying down, out of it, and she kept looking, and she was pretending and looking, and she grabbed his phone and took off.
Okay.
So I was watching her the entire time in the shallow end of the pool. So she takes up, and I come out like Godzilla.
Out of the pool. It is alive.
I go, hey, stop! And everybody's like, what the hell is going on? So I go chasing after her, and she's like freaking out. She's like, tweet, 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 tweet. What's happening? So she starts running. I'm like, stop! So she goes up this ramp going towards the bar, and she takes the phone and she throws it into the bush, hoping that stops me. No! I'm not going to let that stop.
I'm RoboCop.
So I grab the phone, and I keep chasing her. I chase her up to the bar, the main bar, and then towards the entrance, of which my buddy Neil was there, who we were hanging out with, and 3 or 4 guards.
Right.
Chased her right into there. Boom, done.
So you had the guards perfectly placed.
Because we were talking to Neil. I'm like, Neil, this is weird. We need to coordinate this stuff. So we're big heroes.
That's funny.
That's pretty
You
cool.
saved a man's phone.
I saved a man's phone.
The iPhone 3.
Yeah, it was, and it had like a Nintendo cover on it. I'm like, oh, I saved the guy. I saved the douchebag's phone. Anyways, but here's what I like about the MGM pool. A, you can be a crime fighter. Nothing wrong with being a crime fighter. Multiple pools. They've got an adult-only pool, so if you don't want to screw around with the kids. And they have my favorite, Lazy River, which I just love lazy rivers. And here's the good news about the Lazy River. It's probably the best one in town. Here's the bad news about lazy rivers. If it's a busy weekend, let's call it 4th of July.
Traffic jams?
Well, traffic jams, for sure. And there's something to be said for the fun about that. The water also becomes a bit more viscous.
Yes.
And a little more cloudy, let's say. We're going to call it...
potty time.
No, we're not going to say that. We're going to say it's suntan lotion.
Yeah, okay.
My guess it's probably more than that. When it has the consistency of a 2-hour Jell-O.
Milk.
Or milk. Jell-O or milk. That's probably not a feature, as the kids say. But when it's clean, love it. Also, the beach at Mandalay Bay.
Well, I enjoy that one.
Their wave thing.
They have the wave pool, but they also... In the wave pool across from the beach at Mandalay Bay, they have a concert stage up above, like maybe 25 feet above the water.
I've not seen
and I've seen concerts there before.
That's pretty cool.
The Go-Go's, for example. I saw the Go-Go's one summer.
I love the Go-Go's.
You got the beat. Yeah,
yes,
we were across the thing and kind of an 80s thing. I think I might have saw Cheap Trick there once as well. I think it might have been.
I've seen Cheap Trick many times. They have
my
both
favorite band
done
of all
well,
time.
And they've also disappointed me. Yes. Yeah, it's gone back and forth. And finally, you wanted to say Red Rock Pool.
Well, in the Red Rock Pool also, from a local standpoint, I know a lot of moms were hanging out there on Sunday at the Red Rock. But I've seen concerts there, Counting Crows, for example. They've got, and they play, as the sun's going down, they play right there at the pool at Red Rock, and you can hang out with your feet in the water, listen to music. I did the same thing with Sammy Hagar last year at the pool at the Hard Rock.
All right. Actually, one of the first concerts I saw was at Red Rock, and I really liked it, and I haven't been to one since. That was like our first 2 years here. All right. And that's it. So we have basically made every local the coolest cats in town.
Yeah, there's cool stuff to do.
I'd be like, wow, these guys really know stuff. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And then we're going to be back with the live chat. The live chat's in charge. This is the Living in Las Vegas podcast on the Vegas Video Network.
Few things are as precious as your eyes. They capture a world in motion and a lifetime of moments. Choosing the right doctor for LASIK means understanding there really is a difference. Dr. Richard Rothman and LASIK of Nevada believe that safety, affordability, and the latest technology are important. Call today and get 50% off premium LASIK and $99 a month guaranteed financing. Helping people achieve their best vision on a personal level is the difference at LASIK of Nevada. Call or click 800 New Vision for premium LASIK at the best price.
Look at that. You caught him looking on a phone. God, that pisses me off.
I'm looking at my phone.
Okay, this is our new feature. It's a little bit of things from the chat. They are in charge. They tell us what they want to know. And if we don't know, then we
make it up.
Oops, did it wrong. God dang it. Sometimes you have to hit the beat.
What do these buttons
do? All right, I don't need you to do that. All right, here we go.
Just push this button over here.
I do that. I do a good voice like that, and man, I always get in trouble for that. I always get in trouble for that. Because it's making fun.
Of you?
No.
I understand. You know what? If you can't take a joke.
If I do this,
we can't make fun of anything anymore, right?
What's it say?
Yeah. Okay. No, that's different.
I do that. It's bad.
I know.
Don't stop it. All right.
I know, but you can't make fun of anything anymore.
So we got a lot of questions, some of which I can't even fake. So we might have
to fake.
Yeah. All right. So the first one: if you win big on a slot jackpot, what's the tip?
Again, I think a standard thing. If you're winning, you're tipping what you feel comfortable with, up to about 10%. So if you win $500, I think you should give somebody $50. I think that's fair. If you're losing, it's different. Then I don't feel like you have to give anybody anything because you've lost. But when it's good karma to share when you win.
Excellent question. All right, Scott, what was your profession in California, and what led you to move in Las Vegas?
I'm just a gigolo.
I was acquitted.
Oh, sorry. You were acquitted.
And that's why I moved to Las Vegas.
Scott's real name is Orenthal James Simpson.
That's right.
He went through the Michael Jackson therapy.
Right.
And look at him now.
It's a disease.
Yeah, right.
It's not therapy.
Yeah,
stop it. In California, I used to work in the, big business. I was the director of marketing for Compaq Computers.
Right.
And then I jumped into my own stuff. I did high-end website design with a company called Whitney Communications. Then started doing music. Sold about 150,000 CDs with a company called Timberworks Music that I created. And then started podcasting. Just got into it right before we moved here. Started getting into it more seriously when we moved here, and I started Podworks in August of 2006. We were profitable within the first month, and that's the company that runs everything that still is online right now.
That's excellent.
And that's my story in
and
a
you're
short
sticking to it.
It is. What's the military impact in Vegas, do you think, Brett?
Well, that's a good question. I think from a future standpoint of Las Vegas, because of Hoover Dam, because of Nellis Air Force Base, I believe that the federal government would not allow Las Vegas to die, even though we probably shouldn't have a city as large as we do in the middle of the desert, but that's beside the point. With just like basically a creek of the Colorado River kind of running by once in a while. But I think the military impact is large because of the importance of Nellis. What people don't realize about Nellis a little bit is when you're talking about the drone program that's been going around. I play hockey with guys years ago that actually were guys that were flying the drones from Nellis.
That's crazy.
And dropping bombs all over the world. What'd you do today? I played video games for about 8 hours.
Right.
Dropped some bombs in some places I really can't talk about.
But when I gave...
But I know lots of military families. I think the biggest thing about the military part of it is that the families kind of come and go, unfortunately, that you're here for a couple of years. And then you move on to your next assignment. So there is a turnover in that part of it, which I think is, to be a parent in a military family, first of all the kids I've met that are military kids, they're all terrific. They are. They're smart. They speak multiple languages because they've been exposed to multiple languages around the world. They're obviously disciplined. They're structured. They're organized. They're good students. But it's hard. It's got to be hard for them to be moving around and finding new friends all the time and that kind of stuff. So
I was in the military. I was in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So I was in the Air Force for 4 years. And it's interesting. I've been in a town where the Air Force was not appreciated. It was called Biloxi, Mississippi.
That little town.
And that's
where the king was born, brother.
Where?
Right?
Who? The king?
He's Tupelo.
No, he was
Tupelo. Tupelo.
So in Biloxi, Mississippi, when I was there, they didn't have gambling. They didn't have casinos. And I'm not kidding you. This is
the Biloxi Blues.
This is a no BS plate. Yes. And that was partly based upon where I was located, which was Keesler Air Force Base. Shh. Nope.
See?
It all. So they had bumper stickers there. No kidding. That said, "Clean up Biloxi, kill an airman."
Wow.
Yeah. Now, at the time, you know what kept Biloxi alive? Airmen.
Right.
If it wasn't for us, Biloxi would have just shriveled away and blown off in the wind. Those big idiots.
Ted says he owns accessbiloxi.com.
Yeah, well, good luck to you on that bunch of back. Those are those big-headed banjo play. I didn't say it. Did I say it?
Yeah, you did.
Big-headed banjo playing inbred bastards who don't know what the hell they're doing. God, I never hated people. When I left, I was there for 8 months. When I left there, I was in my car. I drove a 1970 Ford Maverick that had L50-15 tires on the back and little 30s on the front. So it looked like this. It could only go 12 miles an hour, but it looked like it was fast. Well, apparently the good old boys in Biloxi didn't much care for that car. So I got pulled over almost every week, those little bastards. But when I left, I drove out of the base. I stopped the car. I wanted to get the hell out. I stopped the car, got out, and flipped off the base. I'm like, I'm done. Now, Scott, why do you have a car there? You're an airman. Here's why. Because of that bumper sticker, you couldn't walk out of the base without people harassing you or throwing crap at you. I'm like, screw that. So actually, I flew home to California on a weekend to get my car to drive it back to Mississippi so I wouldn't have to walk around that place. That's a good example of a place that didn't understand Air Force. I moved to a place called Merced, California.
Right.
They loved the Air Force. They recognized these people are good. The civilians treated the Air Force people as nice. I believe Las Vegas is similar. We used to live in Aliante. Tons.
Yeah, because it's a nice area and you're not very far from the base.
Tons of military people live in there. And everybody was very nice and they're very polite. The people who bought our home, as a matter of fact, the guy who bought it was a young, maybe mid-20s helicopter pilot and a cute little wife. Nicest people in the world. So I think the impact here is important. I mean, now is it, if it's shut down, would it knock down Vegas to nothing? Yeah, probably not. But what I like about it is Vegas respects the military, and that's super, super important to me.
No, I do. No, here's what I think with regards to not just Nellis, but Boulder Dam, obviously the test site.
Yep.
That's why I think Las Vegas will always be okay from that standpoint. If it dries up, they'll still find a way to take care of Vegas. And I don't understand why people don't realize, California's having a drought. They got a little bit of water just to the left. Look to the left.
It's a saline issue, as I understand.
They've been desalinizing water in Cuba on Guantanamo Bay for 50, 60 years. Because they're idiots.
That's why I don't live there anymore. Yeah. Question from, I didn't actually write down who they're from. How was your scan test?
Oh, thank you for asking. Scan results were good. Nothing new, nothing growing, all stable. I did have to go and do it twice. Thank you very much. Because the first time the doctor didn't give the proper instructions, and they didn't do the entire test they needed. So the doctor's calling me going, Brett, sorry, I screwed up. We need you to go back and do this again.
Did they have to do another barium enema?
No, thank God. But I did have to do another IV with the contrast injected into my body. So I had to do that twice last week. And tomorrow, my treatment plan is still the same. Once a month I go in for chemo. That's tomorrow.
Okay.
And so you'll see the effects of that next week and the week after.
Okay.
The week after. So I'll have a red nose and I'll be bleeding and stuff.
Okay, that's good stuff.
Yeah, I know.
We want to know,
thank you, Mike.
Brett, how did you get your start in AM radio? We understand that you came out here to run KSHP, but what made you decide to get into radio in the first place?
Oh, in general, honestly, when I was a young lad growing up, I'm a big sports fan, listened to baseball games on the radio, fell in love with announcing. I was able to always...
Hey!
Well, yeah, Jack Buck, and not so much Harry Carey because he was gone by the time I was there, but it was Jack Buck and Mike Shannon. And, radio is the theater of the mind. And if you can imagine when the announcer says... he rips a double down the right field line, and you see him, he's rounding first, he's heading for second, and he slides into second base, and here comes the throw, he is, and you're imagining that in your mind. I fell in love with that, and that's what I always wanted to do was work in radio. So when I went off to college, I immediately started working at the college radio station, just as a DJ, really, and then we started doing some college basketball games, Quincy College, now Quincy University in Quincy, Illinois, the westernmost city in the state of Illinois along the banks of the Mississippi River, across the river from Hannibal Moe, home of Mark Twain, Samuel Clemens.
Real quick story.
And that's how I got started. So I started working. It all started at a 5,000-watt radio station in Fresno, California.
WKRP.
It's Ted Knight on Mary Tyler Moore Show.
That's right, it is.
Although, one of the most underrated sitcoms is WKRP in
great
Cincinnati.
Sitcom.
Yeah, very good.
Who was the hippy dippy guy? What was his name?
Well, the Howard Hesseman character. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was. You had Venus Flytrap, and you had Johnny.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and
then I went to Chicago, and I got my first full-time job was in Chicago.
And that's where it kind of got big for you.
Which is funny because I always said I never wanted to live in Chicago, and it's the first place I went after college was Chicago.
Because it's cold.
Well, it's a great radio. It is. I mean, in all honesty, as much as there's things about Chicago I did not like, their radio there is fantastic. It is terrific.
Yeah.
It's even though LA is a bigger market, people think LA radio is great or New York radio is great. Chicago radio is right there. If not, certainly to me, it's better than LA, and it's excellent.
All right. Next question: will the Vegas Video Co-op or VVN provide production classes teaching people how to produce content like this, or help folks with broadcast speaking and copy reading? We actually do a little bit of that. We do that primarily for co-op members right now. So we've had a few people who want to do like this kind of a talk show, but didn't quite understand the process of, for example, how do you lay out an interview so that people actually want to hear the interview? How do you draw people out so that they don't answer in monosyllabic responses? So we provided some guidance in there, and it's part of the co-op. We don't normally do that for people who just come off the streets. It's mostly more of an inside thing for people who are, kind of part of our deal. But if you're interested, I would say two things. A, join the co-op. Well, the other thing is this.
Bring your checkbook. Oh, sorry.
Well, that's not really very nice.
No, it's not cheap.
Well, the other thing is this. Actually, it actually has to do with the payment. It used to be to do this kind of stuff. It was very, very expensive. And if you did it yourself, it looks kind of amateurish, and that's a problem. It's a best foot forward problem. But, for the co-op, you can spend as less as $219 and get what is in essence a multi-six-figure dollar studio at your beck and call. So
nice.
A lot of people are less interested in having to do the production stuff because we do it. And they get to focus on what they're an expert at. So I don't get a lot of people saying, teach me how to work a camera. They just are part of the co-op and say,
right.
Like, you work the camera. Let me work on actually telling the story, which kind of makes sense to me. And then the last question we'll do today, again, thanks to the live chat for playing along, is will living in Las Vegas do a remote broadcast? What's this? Kids sports book more like the nation? Oh, that's wrong question. Yeah, will living in Las Vegas do a remote broadcast? Somewhere out there. Maybe. I don't know. We've done a lot of remote stuff. We did a bunch of them for Fremont Street. It's a lot of work to do it right. The idea of just doing an audio podcast from remote. You've done broadcasts,
tons of them.
Tons of those. That's easy. Doing the video thing.
Did one today.
Streaming,
I do one every Tuesday.
That's right. So that's pretty straightforward. But we're a video thing and an audio thing. And doing that, it takes a decent internet connection. That can be a pain in the ass. But yeah, if we found a place that it made sense for us to do it, and they embrace what we want to do, and they wanted to sponsor the show, so they got some of our juice, we would absolutely have that conversation with them because we want to be everybody's best friend. Wouldn't you say that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
A little time for a little hat. I have to ask you a question.
Well, wait until the
after you sing.
I sing on the other one. All right, it's time for Have a Drink on Me. But first, Brett has a question.
Okay, you play that music.
I can play that music.
Well, but you do.
Yes.
Why aren't we playing other music?
I don't understand.
Of other famous things that we might enjoy listening to.
What? What do you
mean?
You're
playing an original version of a tune, right?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't we play other stuff?
Because I'm a little nervous about playing original.
Well, okay, here's my thing. Now, and then you can answer this question because I don't know. I know it from the broadcasting side. We're not technically over-the-air broadcasting. Yeah. We're not FM, AM, or television.
Yep.
So are we in an area where we should be okay to do what you want to do from a BMI ASCAP kind of situation?
Good question.
Okay.
How about shutting the fuck up?
Push the button. Feel free to take all this question out of there.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not afraid of you. Look at this. We're using it as a part of an educational play. That's my argument.
I know, but you could have some great bumpers with some other stuff.
Yeah, no. And actually, there's a radio station here, an online radio station that had an affiliate with a large broadcasting company. Mm-hmm. Actually, I've done some research into these guys.
Right.
You know what they're charging for that? I'll tell you. I now know.
Well, it's always a percentage of your income.
No. I'm saying what they're charging these people to do their shows.
Oh, okay.
I finally talked to a guy. Unbelievable. So anyways, they had, if you're a radio station, you're paying some sort of license to be able to do that kind of thing.
ASCAP BMI fees.
That's right. And so Lotus or whoever pays that. Well, that company no longer has that affiliation. They're no longer affiliated with Lotus.
I know.
Well, they don't get to do that anymore.
Yeah.
But a couple of their opening bumpers and their opening songs are like Led Zeppelin rock and roll.
Right.
That ain't okay.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But it's internet, and it's not the same as broadcast, so it's a little bit of a gray area. That's why I'm asking.
It's not, I'd
have to ask my FCC attorney that question.
Well, here's the deal. My intent is to record my own version of that song here.
Okay.
So I can use that because then there's no worry for me at all there.
Okay.
So yeah, this might go south on me.
Well, I don't think there should be a worry because you're not using the full song. You're using a portion of the song, and I think it's a little bit different.
Should be all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Have a Drink on Me, where I get asked legal questions, and I'm like, God damn it, I got to find me. Well,
all
right. So here's how it works. I show you a bar.
That's a great question.
What do you say?
Will BG ever hit the post properly? No, you don't want to hit the post. You want to miss the post. You want to right where the music starts. Where the wording starts. you should stop talking before the words start.
Right.
And that's, if you do, you step on the post. It's called stepping on the post.
Right.
Hitting the post means you did it properly.
Okay.
I hit the post. Boom!
And by the way, that's part of our new webinar we're going to be doing,
Exactly.
Broadcast 101, where Brett talks about how to step on the post.
Don't step on the post.
Okay, so have a drink on me. Here's how it works. We show you a place, a show, for the love of God. We show you a place that I've been to. And if you recognize this bar, you're going to send an email to haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com. Where is it?
It's, where is it? It's haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com.
Exactly.
Have a drink.
And what do you win?
At
Well, a drink.
vegasvideonetwork.com.
I'll buy you a drink. Whatever bar you want to go to. And by the way, there's been an interesting trend in people who have begun to submit. Wait a minute, I don't want a drink. Oh, well, you're an idiot. Maybe you want instead music. A musica. Yes. These are also very hot. This is the Christmas acoustic CD. You like your Christmas? Of course you do. Then you can have that one. Wait a minute, you want more Christmas? That's a Christmas
It's a
acoustic
tropical
CD.
Christmas
Or
tune.
in fact, you may like Gajazazon, from which this song is from. This is Gin and Tonic. By the way, the little concert I gave here this weekend, we got about 5 of these that went out the door. That's right.
As a parting gift?
Yes. And we were a big hit at that party. Or, wait a minute, you're all about the look, the feel, the vibe. Well, then you probably want one of those. We just got a new shipment of the Vegas Video Network visors. Are those just stickers, Scott? No! Embroidered. How does it look? Well, how does that look to you? That's right. That's our model, Brett's dad, looking
There
sharp.
he is. Hi, Pops. Talked to
looking
him
happy.
yesterday. I called him for Mother's Day on Monday.
And by the way, good news, we're completely up to date. Everybody who had a have a drink thing owed has got them.
Oh, that's cool.
We were a little bit
so
behind.
You got confirmation from Russia?
We got, it actually went to New York, and then he's actually at Dollywood right now. I bet you he's wearing his thing. Okay. So these are hot. We got a whole bunch more of those. All right. So here's how it works. Let's first look at our last week's Have a Drink on Me. There it is. This was a tough one.
Yes, it was.
Muy tuffanero. For the first few days, we got like 1 or 2 trickles. People are like, oh, this is very hard. I don't really know what to say. I'm like, that's right. We didn't make it easy for you people. We're hardcore. And the hints were, it's called Urban Rye, it's called Urban Rye, and it's called Urban Rye. Those were basically the hints. That's not really the hints, but that's what we're going to say. Okay, so here's what we got. Lots of people. First, Monica Butter didn't say anything, so we're not going to talk about her. I hope she loses. That's not right. I'm sorry, Monica. She's actually a long-time listener.
First-time shot. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
That's right. Okay.
How about first-time listener, long-time caller?
All right. Ken Anderson, who lives in Las Vegas, loves the show, loves all the tips. I think he might be on the live chat right now. So we're voting for Ken, of course. Or are we? Penny Gregory, past winner. Penny, are you greedy? Nah. She just wants more. She wants to give all of her family the great music or the great visor. Loves the matching shirt vibe. By the way, I did some checking on our last previous shows. I think we matched 3 different times.
That's about 50% of the shows.
Yeah, last week was unbelievably matchy. Like, do you guys dress together? No.
Because how many maroon shirts do you have in your closet?
1. I literally have 1
I think
shirt.
I might have 2.
I just bought that shirt, as a matter of fact. I'm going to put it on because it's a Vegas Video Network.
You find that on the rack, the Vegas Video Network shirt?
No, it's not on the rack. And then Jason H. from Colony, New York, you're asking people to tell where they're from. Thanks for the great podcast. Glad it's back. We are making dreams.
Did you say colonoscopy, New York?
Yes,
what did you say?
colonoscopy, New York, where we clear you out whether you like it or not. And then Eric Hansen, and then we saw a wave of what's called the assumptive close. Are you familiar with that?
Yep.
So in sales, the assumptive close is basically, would you like red or would you like blue? Yeah. That's the assumptive close. You're going to pick one. So would
you like to meet Tuesday at 2 or 4?
Right. Would you like the white car or the blue car? So the assumptive close is that. These next 3 were all assumptive closes, which I thought was pretty funny. Eric Hansen says, I'll meet you at the Mandarin bar to collect when I win.
All right. There, I like that. Good job.
Marie Rogers. Marie is an interesting story. Marie was a longtime listener. Marie recognized, she used to be in, I think it was Minnesota. She was in the airport. Melissa was in the airport. Melissa was talking. Marie recognized her voice from the show.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Spooky.
Crazy. We actually got Marie a job.
As a?
She's a pimp. No, she's not a pimp. She's a...
That'd be a madam.
No, it's not. Yeah. But we got her a job. We knew something, and then Melissa did some magic recruiting thing, and she's working because of us. And she basically says, I'll take the CD. Again, she expects that she's going to win. And then Brad from Baton Rouge says...
Baton Rouge.
Javier's is, in fact, the greatest restaurant. That's where I'll have my drink. Okay, there you go. And then...
Oh, we're not done yet. Sorry.
No. Then we've got two more from down under. That's right.
Yeah?
Australia.
Nice.
That's right. We're not messing around. We're international. Claire Peters from Australia. Here's what Claire has to say. Hey, love the show. My husband, Tim, keeps entering the competition and hasn't won so far, so I thought I'd show him how it gets done. Typical wife play, by the way.
A typical woman move. If you want something right, I'm going to do it myself.
Right. This Haddam is, and everybody's using the term Haddam by now.
That's awesome. That's because that's for me.
I think that was you.
That was all me.
Okay.
Because they used to always say, "What in the world is Haddam?"
Okay, Drinky Pants. So it's Herb and Rye's, right? We're moving to Las Vegas to live and work in 2 weeks, and your show has been indispensable.
Nice.
That's right. International. I'm kind of hoping for Tim, or actually that was Claire, which I already put in there. But I'm not going to send it to Australia. We'll catch you when you move here to the Las Vegas. That was
the Las Vegas.
And then Tim gets in, also from Australia. Tim basically says the answer is Urban Rye. The listeners sure think Brett is a stud muffin.
He doesn't, though, apparently.
Man,
does he agree or disagree?
I don't. I'm so sick of this. And I think he's a top bloke.
A top bloke. I love it. Yes, I like the little...
But he butchered the name of my nation's capital last podcast.
Oh, he probably did.
I think he called it Cambria.
Which is Cambria, which is in California. It's Canberra.
Look at this. It is Canberra.
Yep.
I really don't mind, though, because it's a dump.
Actually, it's Tim, right?
Yes.
My business partner has a daughter who lives in Canberra.
Wow.
And I thought it was kind of cool. That's why I said it.
All right.
And I got confused because there's a wonderful little town in Central California called Cambria.
Yep.
Which is fantastic. If you want a weekend getaway. No. If you want a weekend getaway, you want to get back out of the doghouse, you want to make your wife love you, you take her for a weekend getaway in Cambria,
look at that,
California.
That's right.
You can check out the beautiful wineries around there. The Hearst Mansion is not very far away. You've got great little inns, some cool restaurants, and wine country. Yes. Cambria, California.
There you go. And,
all right, are we done?
Hold on. And then for the record, we live in Melbourne, but only for 10 more days, and they're moving to Las Vegas.
So both people are moving to Las Vegas?
Well, they're married. Let's hope so.
Oh, that was Tim and his wife. They both sent an email?
Yes, they're taking on the...
they both...
Yeah,
oh, I got it.
Because Don and Lloyd did the same thing. They have both won now. By the way, Lloyd opted, who was our last winner, said, I'll have a drink on you. God bless.
All right, so Tim's wife doesn't like the way that he participates, so she has sent in one as well. And they both sent nice responses.
Yes,
I appreciate that.
Like every wife, they're correct.
I've never been called a bloke before. That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
Much less a nice one.
All right, go ahead and pick the
All right, and the winner is going to be this one. Who did you not want to win?
I don't want anybody to win who's not fun. Who wins?
Penny Gregory.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I'm sorry.
Come on,
so
Penny.
Sorry.
All right, Penny, you've won. Congratulations. What has
Penny won? What has she not won? She's won
Penny
2 empty beer. She's won 4 empty beer cans.
Penny, you've won again. Congratulations, you greedy woman, you. I believe last time you won one of those. That's terrific. No, that's terrific. So how about you not get one of these again? Why don't you let me suggest this, the Gachazathon CD, or come to Las Vegas and let me buy you a drink. A big hand for Penny. I never think too much is enough, Gregory.
Well, you can't blame Penny for entering. You got to blame me for picking it.
Good point. So we're not going to have him pick stuff anymore. And okay, so
in all honesty, with the door open, God, that breeze feels wonderful, doesn't
all right,
it?
okay,
That's gorgeous.
We're
outside
gonna take
right now.
one more break.
We should be doing the show outside.
It's a nice.
It's
little
gorgeous outside tonight.
So let's talk about this. We're at 1:38. Do we really want to keep going, or should we stop?
Do we have stuff we have to do yet?
We got that giant email.
Let's do the email. We're all right.
Okay.
He's been waiting all night to hear
I know.
this.
Yes. Okay. Here we are. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll be back with the. Maybe we don't take. I should do that one. I'll do that one. Be right back.
Dr. Richard Rothman and LASIK of Nevada believe that safety, affordability, and the latest technology are important. Call today and get 50% off premium LASIK and $99 a month guaranteed financing. Call or click 800 New Vision for premium LASIK at the best price.
Sideways moving bastards got nothing on me.
That's very good.
Thank you.
That's excellent.
All right, this is the on-air Q piece thing where we do stuff.
Do you visit your testicles on the mantle as you walk by to hit that note?
Do I visit my testicles? Yes, I do.
Push the button.
How you doing, fellas? Feeling pretty good. Okay. All right. So this email was arguably the longest email I have.
First of all, you printed it out on 20 font.
No, he sent it in 21. He's an older guy, and I'm thinking he had to have it this big so he could read it. Now, I'm not trying to be disparaging. I'm just saying, have you ever heard of the Roy Clark Big Note Psalm book?
Yeah.
So this is the Roy Clark Big Note Psalm. Yeah, I should do that. That's a good point.
Let's just do that. There you go.
There it is. So
big letters, which as a child, I loved the books with the big letters. It means I didn't have to read it. Oh my God, look how many pages. Oh no, the type is so small.
So
I'm going to be doing this all night.
Because this is so long, we're going to do it. We're going to take turns on this paragraph. This is literally, I think it's 45 pages. So we're going to start with Brett. Brett's going to begin in the voice of my favorite broadcaster. What's his name? Go.
Hey guys, it's Eugene Fulton III from Jacksonville, Florida, affectionately known as South Georgia Beats, since Biloxi, Mississippi beat us to the punch as the redneck Riviera. Riviera is spelled backwards as Riviera. And we aren't quite up to any.
Hold on.
Sorry.
That was an ad lib.
It was, yes. And we're not. Should I go back to normal now, or should I keep doing Harry?
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right. Keep doing Harry?
Normal.
Oh, okay. And we're not quite up to any Riviera standards by any means. I'm on the second line for crying out loud.
Oh, my God.
My official title is Director of Field Operations for a small local telecommunications company. Strangely, my lovely wife of 32 years seems to occupy the title of President and CEO of the very same company.
Well done.
Very nice. I will not use any foul language in this email, but trust me, I spend most of my time in local shipyards, and I talk just like you guys do, especially Scott. I'm going to try to keep this brief.
By the way, I'm sick and tired of this.
I'm
doing all the cutting.
Got it. People like me. I tend to be as long-winded as you guys seem to be. I've only recently discovered your YouTube channel and have watched most everything posted and found myself eagerly awaiting the release of the next podcast video until... I lost my spot until I had the dumb moment when I went to live podcast. Brett is monitoring live chat. What? Where? When? Why the hell am I watching reposts of this when I could watch it live?
Right.
He's 61 years old in South Georgia, remember, a bit slow on the uptake. I finally got wise enough to go to your main website and check it out and was completely blown away. Major kudos on the Moving It kit along with other things.
Yeah, the Moving Kit is actually on
Moving In Kit, I apologize.
It's on the livinginlv.com website. Okay, my turn. The whole live chat thing prompted me to open a live feed account, which he means a live stream account, which you don't need to do, under Pops 904. So we've seen him in our live chat today. He's old. He's 62, so there's a good chance he may have had.
It's not old, by the way.
But,
I don't
know.
It's not old.
He's trying to be kind of a.
He's a middle-aged man.
I plan to watch tomorrow's live show. He actually is a man of his word. If somehow the stars align, and I might wake way to the live chat, it will most likely be nothing more than just to see if I can connect. As I doubt I'll have anything to say. I believe he has contributed already. Continue.
My wife and I are frequent Vegas visitors. 7 days for her birthday in December. Another 7 days for my birthday in April. My birthday is also in April. But we are a bit different breed from the average Vegas visitor because other than staying in the entire 11th floor of the Riviera's oldest tower for the incredible total price of $240 per night on our December trip with some really fun and sketchy late slot sessions at Circus and driving my son and his friend down the strip to see the lights during Saturday night prime time when they flew in to meet us for the final 4 nights of our stay 3 weeks ago.
Okay,
awesome.
Skip ahead a little bit. You're killing me.
Actually, we may never be our first couple of trips. We never went back to the strip again except when showing first-timers the sights. Yep, we're the lowest of rollers, the bargain hunters, coupon users, Walmart shoppers that find the fake plastic, overly expensive, overly pretentious Vegas Strip to be the very worst of what your fine city has to offer.
Leading to the first of 2 questions. Oh my God. Yes, Scott. I'm asking for something. You are right. Nobody should work for free, even if the only thing they are selling is information. So if the answer to my first yes or no question is yes, then, buddy, we have got to talk because I have got the questions and you have the answers. And I will be the guy that is ready to pony up, as we call it around here, and pay either by agreed upon hourly rate or buying you lunch, a reasonably priced drink, or whatever to compensate you for your essential answers. You will know those questions, at least the questions I should be answering. Fair enough. Okay, here goes.
Where's the question? I want to skip 2 paragraphs ahead because I can't figure out what we're talking about.
Just passed.
Okay, just past my 61st birthday, married to a woman 5 years younger. So no matter how old and feeble I get, she will always be young and beautiful.
That.
We are great partners in both professional and personal life and have one good 30-year-old single straight son. He's an IT pro and can work from any city, remotely dancing around inside your telecom and data servers from wherever he and that's what I'm talking about. I was going to skip these 2 paragraphs.
Stop. Yeah. You know what?
I was going to go to I'm a semi-pro musician, the rare left-handed, sober, reliable singing drummer with good pitch and meter that hit the stage with my first band at age 15 and never looked back. I never flipped burgers or bagged groceries through high school or college because I kept my band booked every weekend. And although I never had then and never will have aspirations to be a star, I still never quit. I always worked for a full-time job and had side jobs and all that kind of stuff.
All right. With all that being said, and by the way, all of it wasn't said.
And we're still waiting for the first question.
Right. Yeah. Here's that question. Is there opportunity for a guy like me, a grinder,
the grinder,
a guy willing to put in the town? Oh, for the love of
put in the time, yes.
Yeah, So now I don't use the article, and you give me crap for that. The guy willing to put in the time and work to either be a real part of the working band or putting together a band of my own to continue my lifelong hobby of going out, putting on a solid crowd-pleasing show, and making enough pocket money to offset fuel, equipment, stage wear, and the usual expenses with some change left over? Or are there too many musicians, too many legal hurdles, or any other reasons that make this impossible? Okay, so that's the question. I'm going to stop there for a minute. Here's the answer. I believe that, first of all, there are more musicians here than probably anywhere else. They're everywhere. They're like those little things that you put water on in Star Trek and they multiply, gerbils, or whatever those things are called. They're everywhere. But here's the secret. The truth is, most musicians aren't very good business people. They play and they think everybody's going to like them because they're performing. And the answer is this. If you can solve a problem, if you understand what problem you solve as a musician, you'll work all day. I don't care where it is. Perfect example. When I was in California, I played drums in a blues band. And we were just a kick-around blues band, a bunch of older guys just hanging out. We worked as much as we wanted to. And we got paid pretty nicely doing it. Worked at a lot of the nice wineries in the Bay Area. And it's because we solved a problem. And people dug that. So if you know what you're doing, now I don't know what music you're playing here, but that's muy importado. So yeah, and finding musicians here, there's a tons of musicians here, but most of them don't know how to run a business. So that's muy important. So to answer your question, the answer isn't no. The answer is yes. You can absolutely run a band here, and there are hundreds of bars in this place. Now, I don't know what they pay. I never really did bar plays when I was a musician, but they're everywhere. So I don't know what the money is, but absolutely there are bars that cater to pretty much every kind of music that you can have. All right, so Brett, let's go to question 2.
On to question 2, which we will get to in 3 pages. That concerns you and your wonderful network, website, and YouTube channel. As I stated earlier, we are fierce bargain hunters, and I'm going to skip this part. I was offended when I stopped at the food court and the Forum Shops for a 12-ounce Diet Coke and a 10-ounce bottle of water for $6.50. And that's a bargain at the Forum Shops.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
And they had a tip jar at the counter. Well, here's your tip. Get your prices back to the surface of the planet, and something might end up in your tip jar. The same soda was 99 cents and the same water 88 cents at the Walgreens on Fremont Street. Even on Fremont Street, where better deals can be had, I would see someone pay $6.50 for a Foster's beer at the outside bar in front of the Golden Gate as they walked into the ABC store and bought the same ice-cold Foster's for $2.15. So where's the question? I still haven't found it.
It's way at the bottom.
So people need my help. Pops to the rescue. I recently started the Vegas Plankton YouTube channel.
Yeah. All right. So let me take that. The site is dedicated to scrap of good money-saving deals, stuff. Basically, he asked me this. Is it okay if he talks about the Vegas Video Network on his channel? Oh. The answer is, yep.
Well, it says, Brett, is your butt sufficiently kissed by now, sirs? I'm just an old guy that loves to have fun, loves Vegas, and hates getting ripped off. I'm also Pops, known as High Roller.
There he is. Yeah. So if you want to talk about us, please do.
Oh, Pops is on the live chat right now.
He is in the live chat.
There he is. Hi, Pops.
You want to say things about us? God bless your little heart. We would love for you to do that.
I must have missed the part that he kissed my ass. I'm still waiting for that. I'm still looking for that part.
Oh, that you're awesome or you're a superstar.
Don't worry about Scott accusing you, Brett, of trying to be a show stealer. The best advice I ever heard came from the lips of a musician who was when Wayne Newton told a young fiddle player after an amazing performance, "Kid, don't worry. I'm not going to let you steal the show, but I want you to try every time we go out there."
So I guess in that story, I'm Wayne Newton. And you are the fiddle player.
Darling, Dankeschön. That was the longest email.
So he's
Pops, how long did it take you to write that? 4 or 5 drunken sessions? What?
All right, brother. So here's the deal. Yes, you can get a job as a musician, but you got to know what you're doing. It's a business. That's why they call it. Oh, I'm not going to even say it. It's such a bullshit thing to say. Yep. Show business. I had to say it.
There's no business like show business.
But, and listen, are there flaky musicians here? That's funny. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, you didn't do the, by the way, we skipped ahead once again. Our live chatters. What's the new bar for Haddam?
Oh!
Didn't do it again.
Damn it! All right. Thank you. There it is.
There it is. This is the easiest one we've ever had.
I can't believe that.
This is the easiest one we've ever had. Everybody should get this.
I am sorry. I forgot the day.
Sorry.
Hold on, here it is. Brett, and that one doesn't actually have the rest of it, so we'll just go ahead and leave it at that. All right, Here's our new one. Thanks, everybody, for reminding me. Of course, that's what the co-host is supposed to do, but he decided not to play along. All right, so this is our new one. Here it is. Our first hint, it is an outdoor bar. You can walk to this bar and be outdoors while you're at the bar. It's in between 2 properties. It's arguably the best flair bar in all of Las Vegas.
What do you mean by flair?
So flair is, the guys who do the
flashy
bottle spinning flair thing.
So the cocktail Tom Cruise kind of thing from the movie.
So this is arguably the best flair bar in all of Las Vegas, of which there are many. But if you're a flair bartender, this is a place you want to work. This is where I met our best friends, Neil and Sarah. They came from England. They came here and they said, "Hey, can we buy you a drink?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's go check out this place here." I almost said the name of it. And we hung out and we became fast friends since then. And somebody grabbed Melissa's ass in this place as well.
She must have a fine one. People keep grabbing her booty.
She does, but we're not going back there. And, of course, this is a rewards card eligible place.
Oh, that's such a
all right. So that's it. Again, hey, what do you do if you want to win? You're going to send an email to haveadrink@vegasvideonetwork.com. Again, have a drink at Vegas Video. jeez. VegasVideoNetwork.com. I'm so pissed off that I missed that. It makes me crazy.
You've done that now 2 weeks in a row, by the way.
I don't know. You know what it is?
Oh, are you giving me the finger for a reason?
No, what it is I'm freaked out by Drinky Pants VRQS. That's what's freaking me out. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for playing along. Again, if you want to send an email, you can do that by sending it to onairq@livinginlv.com. Again, onairq@livinginlv.com. Send us a voicemail. If you look at our homepage, you'll see a little red tab on the right side. If you click that, you can actually leave a voicemail with your computer. You, of course, will have a microphone plugged in that computer because you're smarter than smart and brighter than bright. And guess what? We're on the social media. We're on iTunes. If you're watching us or listening to us on iTunes, please leave us a 5-star review. Why? Because your whites will be whiter and your brights will be brighter. That, my friends, is a promise, not a guarantee, because I don't want to be sued. You can also find us on YouTube, KSHP, Roku, Stitcher, VegasVideoNetwork.com, Facebook, Twitter, and basically anywhere you can possibly see content. Oh, that was awesome. I'm Scott.
I'm Brett.
Holy crap, Brett. So good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me.
Thanks to the live chat, because you are the best live chat, arguably, in the whole wide world.
Certainly on the Vegas Video
And
Network.
look at that. Brett wants to go ahead and pee in the bushes. That's great. That's the class act that you have here. We'll see you guys later. Take care, everybody.
Music by Scott did that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Arches at Whitneyville. You've updated it.
That's been like that since we've been doing it.
Oh, is it?
Come on, pay attention.
Well, I've never been.
We're so busy. Yeah.